Hey, it's the Bennington Show. Wednesday, Tarantino week. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
And I'm Ron Bennington. And that song, who and where?
That is April, March, and that's in Death Proof.
That film I have a tendency to call Death Cab for Cutie. I wish I could stop myself from it. I know nothing about Death Cab.
Originally, by the way, that song is written by Serge Gainsbourg. It was like a French song.
Perfect. That makes total sense now.
Yeah, and I think, what's her name? It's like France Gall or something.
Yeah.
She's like a pop star, but I'm probably saying it not
he
French
always
enough.
had those underage, like way age-inappropriate girls that he was singing and grinding on. Serge, the man. We should do a Serge week sometime.
I would love to do a Serge week.
Vito, one of your main crushes around, the model. What's her name?
Ashley Graham.
Ashley Graham just walked by.
Awesome. That's the second time I've seen her this week.
What was the other time?
Batting cages at Chelsea Piers on Saturday.
How was she hitting?
She was hitting pretty good. All the
Long
dads.
ball hitter or contact lenient? What you going for?
She was going. It looked like she was
Punch
going for
and
base
Judy?
knocks.
Is that it? Yeah, okay. Punch and Judy, I got you. Just putting the bat out there and hoping it fucking, connects. That's all. All right. What's her name again?
Ashley Graham.
I was not familiar with her. What's Ashley Graham's story?
She is like a body positive. She got first big on Facebook because there was this video of her on a runway of like how thick she is. Yeah. And it started spreading, and then she was on one of the Sports Illustrated covers, just focusing on like women could be.
I never know who the women models are, but when I see them, I'm like, hey, there was a hot chick around here. And I'm like, yeah, she's very famous. But I don't follow the runway scene. I don't know who's on the runway, and I get confused when I do see the one. I'm always going like that. Wasn't that girl just up here a minute ago? How does she change so fast? So, all right, so you see her at the batting cages. Big week for you.
Yeah, and I just saw dads who were supposed to be teaching their kids how to hit, just not paying attention whatsoever.
It's impossible to pay attention to your children. Everybody knows that.
I feel like if the swing is in the hips, then she's got to be good at it.
Oh, yeah. Very lower body, powerful.
God bless her. God bless her. All right, a lot going on today. We're going to announce an unmasked in just a few moments. It's going to be a very special one, too. Very unexpected unmasked. But Gail Meets Girls is up on the iTunes right now. With one of the 50th, as they say in Rolling Stone, funniest people today.
Yes, Aparna Nancharla, and also with us, Jacqueline Novak. It's a really a great episode, so you can subscribe and download on iTunes, or you can go to theinterrobang.com and you can download it from there.
You know what I want to do? I want to do another Street Jokes soon. Announce that. That show needs a little work. And, of course, we're going to do more comedy one-on-ones, but while taking a piss last night, I believe I came up with a whole new stage show for us to do. It came to me in the time of a piss. The name, how it works, who we would want to get for it. So I'm not going to announce it yet.
In just a piss's time?
In a piss's time. A piss's time could be a lifetime.
In the mind.
Of ideas. What are you eating there?
Just some yogurt.
Nice.
Yeah.
You got some for everybody or just
No, just
yourself?
for me. I didn't think. I mean, I've never seen you guys eat yogurt.
We love yogurt.
Yeah, but the same place that you buy yogurt, they also sell bagels and croissants.
True.
So there's something for anyone.
I do think
Chris,
that.
did you go through all the candy last night? Is there any left?
There's some Reese's peanut minis left, but all the M&Ms are gone. All the Sour Patch Kids are gone.
I worry about, I know you were going to kill.
Yeah.
I like any other day, right? Chris will always be like, Ron, you forgot but on candy day, he never says, Ron, did you want to take any of this candy
quiet.
home? But I'll tell you about
remember what happened to the soda bread.
the Reese's Minis. I don't know if they have the right chocolate to peanut butter ratio.
Yeah.
I think, I'm not sure that they pull it off.
You know, I wish I could remember who tweeted us about this, but if somebody had tweeted about the Easter one, where, because there's more peanut butter to chocolate, that it's actually a superior.
Oh, I disagree.
Reese's. I was kind of paying attention to it this Easter, and I get where she was coming from.
She's a drunk because the good people at Reese I'd figured that out many years ago. And by the way, I've been on both sides of this when it was called a Reese Cup, and then later when it was called a Reese's Cup. Been both places. What a life. What a life and times I've lived.
Oh, and just a Pistons time, really.
Yeah. Fuck Gump. Look what I've been through. Life is just a long piss. The Ron Bennington story. Or saga, as I'm hoping to call it, but my editor won't return my calls. Come on. Well, my editor won't return my calls because my editor does not exist.
Oh.
Except for in my mind over the course of another long piss. All right, let's get this unmasked announcement going. And I'll only tell you this. We're doing this because it's the 50th anniversary of his breakthrough TV show. Which is, when this was presented to me, I go, you got to be kidding. Who's going to, They're like, oh, no, a lot of people. This is the show that gave the world Goldie Hawn, Lily Tomlin, and many, many more. But that's 2 movie stars.
Yeah, huge.
Do we have an opening, or I don't know what you're doing, Chris?
Yes, we do. We have an opening. We have a piece
of
production.
Okay. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next guest on Unmasked, hosted by Ron Bennington, is the creator of Laugh-In, George Schlatter.
George Schlatter.
Yeah.
The man who created Laugh-In, and has done many, many other shows, but I believe we're going to spend a good amount of time talking about Laugh-In and the laughter that it brought in.
Very cool. This is very exciting.
But I believe Laugh-In was the first time, like, a president ever attempted to do comedy. Like,
really?
You know how, Obama did Between the Ferns, and we're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? This started 50 years ago. Laugh-In had a wonderful sketch where the judge would say, sock it to me, over and over. And I believe that judge may have been Mr. Sammy Davis Jr., who was a triple threat. He could sing, he could dance, he could act. He could do it all, really. Well, he could do 3 things. So, sock it to me, and then people at home would yell, sock it to me, back at their black and white television sets. But Richard Nixon just appeared, and I believe he was either running for president or maybe had been president, and went, suck it to me? And people were like, well, who did Nixon? Who was the guy doing Nixon?
No.
And they couldn't believe it was Nixon. This is very much like when Bill Clinton played his sax on the Arsenio Hall show. Never again to pick up a sax. But that night, he was a cool sax player.
He was a sax man.
Suck it to me.
Was Laugh-In the first sketch comedy show on TV? Like, is it the first popular?
No. I think you probably would be going back to show of shows.
Oh, right.
And, from that point on, there were a lot that weren't considered cool shows. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yet they were variety shows.
But Laugh-In was like a little bit more, like kind of like adult, a little bit like sexy nightlife kind of vibes to it too.
Well, it was like the first time that they used any psychedelic colors. You know what I mean?
Right.
There would be, who was the painter that would paint those weird things? We had him on the show before. But they would kind of use those kind of graphics. And, but the weird thing about it is Rowan and Martin were not younger the way the Smothers Brothers were younger. They were like kind of a, Lewis and Martin Rat Packy type thing. So these guys were doing real Martini era stuff. It's an interesting, strange thing.
From
Peter Max
type colors. Thank you, Chris.
So,
you're the best.
Martini
You stink.
Garbage person.
Oh my gosh, things have really changed today.
You know who Chris and I were going off as being nothing but garbage was our formerly favorite guy, Michael McKean, because he is so fucking good on Better Call Saul as a terrible person that we now not only think that Chuck McGill is a fucking terrible person, we also think our one-time favorite guy, Michael McKean, is also a terrible person. He's on Broadway right now, and I was telling Chris we should go there and just scream shit out like, you treat your brother like shit, Chuck.
How can you do it to Jimmy?
There's a lot of electricity here. How come you're not fucking freaking out now, Chuck? Have you seen it yet?
I haven't, no.
God damn it. Because I want to say one thing, but I don't want to say it in front of you.
You can say it.
I think we now know why Jimmy McGill, Slippin' Jimmy, that was so cool that everybody liked, becomes Saul. Because his fucking hate for his brother, I believe.
It just like turns
the family's done.
Yeah.
After what fucking Chuck McGill hates his brother, okay? He doesn't care about the law. He fucking hates his own younger brother.
You think he knows he hates him, or he's just deluded himself? And this is for
Chris,
the law.
it's a wonderful question. You mind if I take my shoes off before I answer this? I've got a long way to go, and I want to be comfortable. I'm like you on the plane. I should switch into giant fucking gym shorts.
Planes, trains, I take my shoes off constantly.
I know. It's not good. I think he's too mad and crazy mad to understand his hate for his brother, but I think there's... Well, I think the Black Crows put it best when they said jealous again. You know, he's fucking jealous.
That's what it is.
He wanted to be special boy. His brother was bad boy, and he felt comfortable with that. But when his brother got a law degree, couldn't stand it. Could not fucking stand it. This is what they should play every time Chuck walks out. They could have been sued by the Faces.
Just for everything you're doing.
Yeah, but it's great. Believe me, I'm very happy to have it. This is another long line of bands whose brothers punched each other deep into the structure of the band. Brothers punch.
They do. They're very physical.
They don't care if they're fucking older. They still, they're in a band together, they'll punch each other.
And sisters just say cruel things to one another.
Yeah, they're right.
That's their punch.
Tim in Florida. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Bennington. Touching on that Michael McKean thing, is it wrong that I still hate Mary Tyler Moore because of what a great job she did in Ordinary People? I can't stand her.
Look, I had it too. And I believe there's certain people that there's a coldness to, even though they're funny people, right? And Mary Tyler Moore went to her cold side.
Yeah.
And there you go to Ordinary People.
I only saw that movie for the first time like a couple of years ago, and I was just like, I didn't even know Mary Tyler Moore could look like that. She just like looked so heartless.
But
Sweet Mary?
Now, I gotta tell you, when I saw that fucking show, right, I'm like, I hate you, Mary Tyler Moore, and I like your husband, Donald Sutherland. But now, as an adult, right, I rewatched that movie not too long ago, and I said to myself, here's a woman who, you know, one of those people who wanted a perfect life. You know what I mean? She was like Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
But then her son dies, her favorite son dies. How do you not see that woman acting that way as being in total pain? It's no different as she was running around the halls screaming, you know what I mean? And going nuts. And you're like, I'm worried about her. Mary Tyler Moore was a victim in Ordinary People. Now, I don't blame the young son. But I do blame Mr. Donald Sutherland for it.
It's always so personal.
Yes. I don't blame Timothy Hutton.
You knew what you were doing when you took on that role. When you take on a role, you take on the sins of the character.
Look,
and you know this.
When you take on a role, you are that person to me, okay? So if you play Hitler, congratulations. You killed 6 million Jews. And that puts you on the opposite side of Ronnie B. David in Clearwater.
Ronnie, what's up?
David, how are you?
I'm all right, man. Good. I think that Jimmy is adopted.
Jimmy McGill?
No.
Yeah, because eventually he's got to change his name to Saul Goodman, right?
Yes, and it looks like very soon, in my opinion.
So there's something that has to happen. Now, you just can't practice law as somebody else.
Yes, you can.
He's in the same area unless he changes his name which he finds out that he's really was Saul Goodman.
You got to remember this about Slippin' Jimmy and Saul Goodman. He don't give a fuck. He doesn't care. So he's able to do this. Now here's the other part that, you know, and if you don't watch Better Call Saul, you're a bad person, and you're probably going to raise bad people.
You're as bad as Chuck.
No one is as bad as Chuck. Seriously. If I fucking had the chance to push Chuck down a dark stairwell and act like, oh, it's because he won't put on the light, I'd do it. Here's what really breaks my heart about these two characters. Jimmy, a.k.a. Saul, loves Chuck out of proportion. He idolizes Chuck. He idolized him when he was a child, and now he idolizes him as an adult because you don't have to shake that off. This happens to men. The way they feel about their dad or their older brother as a child, if they admire that person, they spend the rest of their life admiring that person. So he has this fucking thing that he just wants Chuck to like him and say, oh, you're good too. You know what I mean? This is what fucking Jimmy McGill wants. Chuck to say, you know who you remind me of? Me. That way that you handled that case, that's the way I would do it. That's all he wants.
Yeah.
Chuck is able to give that to him. In the same way he was unable to let Squiggy know just how much he meant to him. Now this is how much I like Michael McKean. I actually went to a Lenny and the Squigtones show before.
Really?
And enjoyed it. And got dosed with THC, but that's for another story. And it's true. But what I found out, and I believe years later, and I didn't know it at the time, the third person in that band was Christopher Guest.
Really?
Yeah, so I think I saw the Lenny and the Squigtones, which was really 2/3 of Spinal Tap.
Yeah, you kind of saw an early Spinal Tap show.
Saul, it's interesting that you would mention that name, because that comes up a little later on in Better Call Saul. I'm so nervous that any episode could be the last episode and then I gotta wait a year. Because these fucking new TV shows, oh, it's great for them. We only have to do 11 episodes. Yeah, I know. But I got 23 weeks I need to kill at any fucking given time. Garrett, what's up?
Hey, Ronnie, how you doing today?
Hey.
Calling from Bethel, New York.
Sweet.
Just wanted to make a comment. I love the show. I love your show. I love Better Call Saul.
You love two shows.
But pointed out to me by a friend who's an attorney, the name Saul Goodman actually could stand for It's All Good Man. Saul Goodman.
You really do live in Bethel.
This is good.
Seriously. You live in Bethel.
This is fucking great.
It's all good, man.
It's all good, man.
Saul Goodman.
Yeah.
That's it. I believe that's how the name was derived.
All right.
Man, I'm going to fix this for you.
Yeah. We are maybe a week or two away of knowing whether you're correct, but I love you and I love that attorney. I love what you guys are working on.
It's
all good, man.
It's all good, man.
Good, man. It's all good. I love your show.
Thanks,
I
buddy.
listen every day, and keep up the good work. Love to Fez.
It's all good, man.
It's all good, man.
It's all good, man.
It's all good, man. Jealous of Gail. That band's better than they get credit for.
I would agree.
I thought it looked like you were holding back a little bit.
No, I agree. They're a fun rock and roll band.
You and I saw Snatched. And as we both remarked, we laughed through it.
We LOL'd, if you will.
The early reviews are not as easy on it. And they're saying, well, this ain't no train wreck. I would say this, and I'm going to make this statement. I enjoyed Snatch more than Trainwreck. You know what I liked in Trainwreck? Oh, look, there's Bobby. Look, there's Florentine.
Yes.
That I enjoyed very much.
I enjoyed that as well, but I would say, pound for pound, there's more laughs in Snatched.
No. Did I ever tell you what I do to Florentine when I'm at the stand? So I'm bringing Florentine and I go like this. This next performer, I'll always do this. You never know who's going to drop in here at the stand. And I'm sure you know this next performer from the hit movie Trainwreck. And everybody looks. I go, Jim Florentine. And then Florentine's like this. Did y'all think it was going to be Amy? Is that it? But he was in the movie for
one of her dates, right?
Yeah, one of her early dates. Yeah. Tom in New York.
Hey, Benningtons.
Hey, man. It's all good, man.
It's all good, man.
It's all good.
Looks like another top model walking by. Top model day here at the Sirius XM studios. Yeah.
Okay. Ron, I'd like to thank you for being a manly man and standing up and continuing to use the word piss. To me, girls pee and men piss, and I'm glad to hear you say it.
Well, what about what Chris Stanley says when he tinkles or wee-wees?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go wee-wee.
I've heard him say he's got a piddle.
I despise piddle. I think worse than them all.
Piddle's really disgusting.
Yeah, I mix it up.
But I also hate the term poofer if somebody and they said they pooted or poofed.
It's great.
Pooted is horrible. Pooted is disgusting.
You don't like it at all?
No, it's so terrible.
What was the football movie? It wasn't Longest Yard. It was the other one. It's my favorite of all time.
Oh,
Replacements?
Come on, Vito. If you're not going to be Chris,
North Dallas 40.
Excuse me. I'm going to finish something with Vito. If you're not going to be Chris, then shut up. Because Chris says all the right things.
Wow, he got you.
North Dallas 40. Yesterday's gone, my friend. Tuesday's gone with the wind. Fucking go back and listen to some Skinner.
It's fucking Wednesday, bro.
So the guy who was supposed to be Don Meredith is Max something, right? He would just call everybody Poot. Hey, Poot. And I was like, that's a very effeminate, and he did have an effeminate way around him. But he'd be like, Poot, I told you yesterday. That's where I think they say is like down south, like in Texas, girls will poot.
That's really gross.
Yeah.
But that is something that happens too. It's like you might say something as a joke, and then eventually,
look who it is, the old Jenny. Old Jenny.
Old Jenny.
She came back in our studios. Looks like there's some celebrity she wants to fucking corner, and she's so excited.
Do you think it's one of the models?
She's with Ashley Graham right now.
Oh, I'm sure she loves Ashley Graham because she worries about body.
Why? She's so
Weight
teeny.
Loss Wednesday. Weight Loss Wednesday.
Oh yeah, it is
that's
Weight
right.
Loss Wednesday.
Yeah.
But she got a band. Jen got a band wrapped around her. I guess what I would call meat tube, where the meat goes down, and she put a rubber band around it. And now she can't get it down at all.
Oh, okay.
She eats, throws up,
Interesting.
eats, throws up.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah.
I wanted to see this Ashley Graham. Is she standing there?
Stunning. Yeah. Is
Yeah.
she right there?
She's right behind the door.
All right.
I'm like you got to walk out to the door.
I'm gonna just,
there
like-
they go.
Here we go.
There she goes to the left. That's her with her
Point
back
tail.
to you. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh my gosh, she's gorgeous.
yeah, she's got a beautiful face.
But that ass.
Yeah, she got a lot of ass.
She's got a lot of ass. She got a lot of hips. She's looking good.
She's body positive.
She is. She's tall too.
They're all
Which is
tall.
still the rule, I guess. So you can be thick, you just can't be short.
By the way, I caught a little bit of the Kelly American Idol show that they do. It's Kelly and American Idol. And this is something dishing with Jen should be about almost every day. These two, American Idol, Seacrest out, and Kelly have zero chemistry together.
Really?
And they are cruising for a showdown. I mean, it should be so exciting that it's the new show.
Yes, I also think you're only counting down until he just takes that right away from her.
Well, Andy, who, he's live. What's Andy's last name?
Andy Cohen.
All right, Andy Cohen live said this. A little advice from Mr. Ryan Seacrest. Kelly's no one to be effed with. She's an adult, and she's a businesswoman, and she knows what she's doing.
Interesting.
So, you guys got something nice. You're equal stars. Do not cross that line. Because most people feel the way you feel, that this guy is known. But see, now, go watch the show one day.
I will.
He based his life on Dick Clark, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Dick Clark, great broadcaster, great businessman. You're always pointing at something, right? Look over here. Look who we got now. He's not the kind of guy that you spend 15 minutes talking with. He's not the kind of guy that he brings up the way Regis did. Went out for dinner last night with Charles Grodin and his wife. And look, here's a picture of the menu. And what is this? Tapas? Tapas? What do I want, Gelman? Spaghetti and meatballs. That's what I want. No one makes meatballs anymore.
Doesn't have that.
We've got coming up. Yeah. So Kelly and Michael, they used to come out and dance for 15 minutes, and they were just dancing around, right?
Fucking grind.
Kelly's still trying to do that, and Ryan's not a dancer, and he's like, he's just kind of bumping a little bit, and you can see him going, I don't want to fucking do this. I want to point at people. Say, coming up right now, they've got the #1 movie. Okay, and this guy over here's got the #1 record. You know what I mean? That's what he wants to say. He wants to point at people.
That's his skill, man. That's what he's in the pocket.
He keeps it moving. He's a broadcaster.
Yes.
But not the type of... Charles Grodin said the funniest thing to me last night. And Slappy White came walking in, and he's a lovely man. You know what I mean? Like, fucking Regis would talk 15 minutes about nothing. Never cooked a meal at his house. Never.
Why would he?
Just every night. Saw a wonderful new play last night called Hell's a Poppin', and look at this. Mickey Rooney's in it. Oh, he is something else. And he would just have Polaroids. Here's a picture of me and Mickey backstage at the show. He was always with Charles Grodin. Always. And Charles Grodin never did the fucking show.
Why would he just be on the show?
I don't know. Charles, can I get you to get up in the morning? No, Regis. And Regis loved guys. He loved Rickles. He loved guys that just ran him down. He was just so happy with it. You got me again, Don. You got me again. Here's a picture of the two of us. There we are. We're roller skating for some reason. He was always doing something stupid. I brought the menu back. Look at this. But that was every day of the show. Every day of the show. But, do you really care where Seacrest out went to dinner last night? He doesn't have that type of thing. He's not warm like that. He's a cold-blooded killer.
They're going to have to just come up with, different charts and screens he can just keep pointing to.
#5 this week. Last week it was #7. What is this whole fucking thing of wondering what number a fucking song is? Last week it was #9. This week it finds itself at #3.
He loves a chart.
That's right, he does. He loves a chart. But who else loved a chart? Dick Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Dick Clark used to do this. They actually had to fucking fine him for it. He would come in and he would go, okay, you're going to be doing the show with your new hit song, She Bops, a Lop Bop, right? There was always like that 50 stuff. He goes, I'm just going to make one change. I'm going to put my name right there as one of the writers.
That's good.
But you didn't write it. He goes, I know, but this time I get money every time it plays. And they actually had to say, stop it, Dick Clark. You didn't write any songs. You just figured out how publishing. He goes, look, if I put my name on it, I'll play it constantly.
Does that sound good for everyone?
This song was written by 3 black kids and Dick Clark, a 40-year-old man who lives in a mansion.
How did you guys meet?
We met right before they walked out to sing this song I wrote with them. Pit Talk.
Hey, Ronnie.
Hey.
Hey, I'm surprised you didn't know how evil Michael McKean was years ago, because the last time you were in close proximity to you, did not his evil burst your appendix?
Well, then he was a lovely man, and my appendix had burst right before that, but I'm
sure about that.
I just let him run with it. I've never gone back. Somebody should listen to it Unmasked to see if I made sense at all during it.
So you always say that you have almost no memory.
I have memory of I was sweating and I was saying, oh, thank God he's talking. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, he can do this. I don't have to worry much. But I don't know what I said back to him. I hope I didn't say anything about daisies or Just crazy talk.
Right.
I saw my grandmother in heaven. And I just fucking fall down. Jesus is right, Chris. Jesus H. Christ. Pit Doc, you always told me this. This is why I went it up. You said if you feel extreme pain, wait until it's so bad before you go to the hospital.
Is that what you
not exactly.
Thanks, Pit Doc.
I always think this. It will go away and everything will be fine.
Pit Doc, I don't know if that's good advice.
Well, I might more recommend high narcotics, but what the hell?
I did zero, but I will say this, Pit Doc. Everyone I've ever known that died was right next to a doctor when it happened. So I'm not falling for that bullshit.
It's a fair cop.
All right, thanks, Pit Doc.
Bye.
But I was thinking about this with doctors. Everybody admires a doctor, right? Everywhere you go. I love him. I love that doctor. He's so smart. He's a doctor. How come you have zero admiration for any doctors in the past? They all seem like savages, right?
Yeah.
Savages. Like a Civil War doctor.
Just sawing off legs?
Sawing off leg and then soldering the leg back on. You should be. I saw that you had a shot right near the ankle. So I sawed it off at the thigh. Then I took a hot iron and just burnt all the skin so it keeps it all sucked in up there. Give it 6-7 months and then hobble around and realize you have no work. And also, doctors used to do this. This is their only thing that they would say. He's sick. You know what I mean? Like, They know as much as a child. He's sick. Now, I put 8 leeches on him to see if they could suck the sickness out. But this also bothers me about doctors. They'll go like this. Any reservations for tonight? No, our restaurant's filled up. This is for Dr. Lawrence. Oh, let me see what we can find. Why would a doctor get a better fucking table than anyone else? Have you ever heard, there's a great restaurant. There's like 18 doctors eat there every night. It's fucking amazing.
They have wonderful taste.
Say, I gotta do something with this. I'm gonna write this down as doctor's chunk. Chris, where are my new colored pencils?
Oh, shit. Pen here.
No,
you lost yours?
It's in the
It
office.
shouldn't be. First of all, that wasn't yours to have.
I was borrowing it.
Really? Then why is it in the office with the minis?
There's not many minis left.
You fucking eat? We had 8 bags of candy.
There was so much candy here.
All right, look, all the M&Ms were gone. That's easy. And then
that's easy. There was like 3/4 of a bag.
Big fucking bag of M&Ms. It wasn't a small.
That was like a family-sized bag.
Yes. Guess who's in the family? Chris. No one else.
And then
family of one.
I ate most of the Sour Patch Kids yesterday, and then left the bag open on my desk, and then finished them off this morning. And
for breakfast?
What's left?
There's some Reese's cups.
Go down and get the Reese's minis. I'm going to see what they look like, Vito. I want to fucking do an accounting on this right now. There's no way.
There was
Janice sent us, seriously, enough candy to last us throughout the spring.
And like, honestly, for him to say, well, the M&M peanuts are gone, that's easy. What do you mean that's easy?
I'm going to say something to you, Chris.
It's not easy on those buttons. That's what is not easy.
Come on, don't bring up the buttons.
I mean, the buttons seem worse today.
I'm going to say something to you, Chris, and I don't want you to take it the wrong way. Okay. I'm sure it's the first time you've heard it. You seem to be compulsive.
I can't stop myself from doing things.
I can't stop myself. I eat candy and everything else. But that was a lot of candy.
I know. I have a candy problem.
I hope you didn't smoke those 2 large cigars she gave me.
I did not, no.
I know, because I put those in my pocket. I wasn't dumb enough for you to think that they were candy cigars and just start chewing them like they were bubblegum cigars. Vito, that's why I need you to up your game. I can trust you around the candy.
Yeah, I don't like candy that much. I'll keep him away from the candy.
You don't really like candy?
I've never been a crazy candy guy. I like having Reese's every now and then, but I like to get my calories in.
Oh, so you do it.
You like savory stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, if I'm going to eat like a lot, I'd rather be like, well, let me get like 3 cheeseburgers and some French fries.
You know who was the same way was Eastside Dave. He never wanted dessert at a restaurant and said, I'd rather just have another piece of meat. This is the last of it, and it's all but gone.
Oh my God, Chris.
Can I have one?
No, you literally ate so much candy.
Now, by the way, when the candy was here yesterday, right, he didn't open one bag. But the second it was opened, he went running over.
I noticed that.
Because
the show was over.
See what happens.
Remember the show was over and he was just like rummaging through the candy, like as though like he had been sitting there for 3 hours just going candy, 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 candy.
I had my eye on the candy, yeah.
I feel bad for Janice. I want her to start sending the candy directly to Vito's house.
I know.
But we can trust that savory bastard.
Yeah. Unless they send me like frozen meats.
Yeah, I did it.
By the way, the only way to eat a Reese's cup is frozen. Anything else is crazy. It's the same as a popsicle. It should be served frozen.
By the way, when we were talking about people calling different things weird names, Queen Elizabeth sent us, Grandma used to call lady parts apple cake, which inspired my daughter's reaction in this picture.
She sees apple cake and she's grossed out. Look how cute her daughter is.
Isn't she so cute?
It's adorable.
Cover up your apple cake.
Yesterday, I was trying to catch up with you guys to a show that I turned you on to, Toy Box. None of you are watching. And I only watched one episode, but now you guys are talking about every episode. I tried to catch up, and I was enjoying it. And then the news came in about the FBI firing.
Oh, my God.
And I spent the next 7 hours in the war room trying to figure out.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, that was just so shocking. I actually had the news on mute as the breaking news was coming across, and I just kept reading it before I even turned up the volume. Like, wait, is it saying that he really fired him? Or I was so shocked.
Did you hear that Comey was giving a speech, and there was TVs up like here, and they were muted, and the thing went by, and he goes like this, real funny, guys, thinking that the FBI had put a funny joke up behind him.
Holy crap. And where was he exactly? He
LA.
wasn't in, yeah. And then he had flown the plane there. And then they were like, well, do we let him fly back? Like, he had to, I think he had to figure out some transportation.
They should have made him fucking hitchhike. No.
He's on a bus
They let him take the FBI plane.
I know that was a conversation. Like, they were going, is he allowed to get back on that plane?
He should have had to get in that old Army surplus plane that the FBI had to use in Silence of the Lambs. I'm like, I don't even know if I'd be in that fucking plane.
It's a giant cargo plane.
Yeah, it looks like it's from 1941.
Dude, I read an article in the Washington Post this morning that had me laughing so hard about Spicer trying to scramble to come up with how he was going to explain to the press the reasoning behind the firing. And they claim in this article that he hid behind a hedge for a very long time in the shadows in the dark.
I love that
while
scene.
the press is come out.
See you.
And then finally he yelled from the other side of the hedges, okay, fine, we'll do this, but everyone turn off the lights, and made them turn off their cameras and said he would give them quotes, but he didn't want the lights on him. It was like something out of
he had no makeup on.
it's like something out of a Wes Anderson thing. Like, they said he was hiding behind two big hedges.
I need to fucking see that video.
His staff was just huddled around him like, what are we going to do?
This is fucking crazy. Why would they let us know?
And I guess initially when he made the announcement about it, they said he basically just stood there, yelled it out, and then ran behind the hedge. He's fired him, whatever. And so, of course, they're standing around well, we want an explanation why. We want to ask you questions about it. And he had no answers.
Because he wasn't alerted.
Right.
But it's always funny, when my staff will try to tell me how crazy my bosses are. And I'm like, there's nothing I can do about that. You know what I mean? I'm not in a position that I can fire them or give them a dressing down. This is the world. Don't they know that? No. They don't know that stuff.
No.
I always say to Chris, they've never done your job.
Noted.
But immediately reading that, I was it was like reading the script ready for SNL. I was like, so we've got two hedges.
Get the props.
I'd love to see video of that, though.
I know. I don't know if it exists because it was in the dark and he was hiding in the darkness. So, and then he made them turn off their cameras. So I just read the article about it, but it's fucking hysterical. I want to see that. And then they said, finally he emerged yelling, "Just turn off the lights! Turn off the lights!"
Holy
We'll take care of this. Can you just turn off the lights?
We'll take care of it.
And like where he was standing, they claim that he was trying to get away, but in order to get back to his office and get back inside, he would have had to walk through the press, so that's why he was hiding behind this hedge.
Why wouldn't he just say, all this will be handled tomorrow?
I'm not sure why. I think he was just freaking out. He was just freaking out and hiding behind a bush.
His job is tough.
It's really rough, man.
I like when Trump said, even though you told me 3 times I'm not being investigated. He puts that in the thing.
Yeah, that sentence was like strung together, but I am going to fire you. You're like, should you have said that in the same breath? Because it kind of makes it very clear.
Well, I guess this Russian thing is gone. We'll never hear anything about it again. And it's all over. Congratulations, Donald.
It's done.
I wish Donald would have just went, "You're fired."
I know. That's all we really want. Just make it come full circle. That's why we elected you.
We wanted you to. Seems like you were going to fire maybe Comey or Spicer. You were going back and forth, and then as soon as we thought it was Spicer, you fire Comey.
Right.
Great TV, sir. And I'm fired. What was the thing where Atamanik said it on his show, and then the following day Trump said it, and the Atamanik people must have been going crazy?
Oh, yeah. It was so fantastic. It was on Atamanik's first show, he, as Trump, says something like I'm president. Can you believe it? And then, like, less than a week later, Trump literally says the exact same thing. Like, I'm president. Can you believe it? It's like Atamanik is in his head, man. He knows him too well.
They're connected.
All right. Now I got some sad fucking news. This just came in. If there was a TV show called Then Came Bronson that people loved back in the 1960s, it was about a guy who he kind of went off the rails, just started riding his motorcycle places. And it only lasted a couple seasons, but a person who watched that show religiously, like myself, was a young Quentin Tarantino. So as soon as he got the opportunity, he put Michael Parks in his movies. And you saw him in Kill Bill, Dusk to Dawn, I believe. He was also in Red State and Tusk. But if you put him up, he was, I believe, in Dusk to Dawn, the guy who came in and was just talking in the convenience store.
At the very beginning, yeah.
Yeah.
He was like the sheriff.
And he was saying something like they got a warhead over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Was he not in Twin Peaks as well?
I think he was in Twin Peaks, too, yeah.
I think he was. I could be wrong. But I think he was also in Twin Peaks.
So news just came in that he passed away.
Oh, it sucks. Yeah, he was in Twin Peaks.
The new one?
I think just the original.
I never watched the original. Should I watch it before the new one?
I think you should. I think I'm going to go back and watch and catch up before I start.
Find out where I can watch it.
I will let you know tonight. I believe you can watch them on Netflix.
I think it's on Amazon.
Oh, and on Amazon?
I don't have Amazon.
Yes, you do. I got it for you.
Yeah, but I didn't look it up.
What? I got you a year.
It looks like there's only a couple months left.
It's terrible.
Remember, I told you, hook it up because I want to see it. I don't want to watch it on a computer.
Right. No, it's not on the computer.
I can do
it's
it
on your
through
TV.
my PlayStation?
Yeah.
There's an app.
Well, I already delete my emails as soon as I get them. So
Damn
you
it.
still have it?
No, I'll call Amazon today.
Call them right now. I got nothing but time. I want to see this Michael Parks thing. I'm going to do a complete Michael Parks thing. But Then Came Bronson was like, I probably even got him on Time Magazine, because people felt lost at the time.
Yeah.
And it was almost like Easy Rider. You know what? Well, it probably was in the 60s. It was the 70s. Chris is looking it up and Vito's doing nothing.
69 to 70.
Thank you. That's all it lasted?
Yeah, 69 to 70.
And that's all it took for Quentin Tarantino to say, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life.
26 episodes, Ron. He didn't have that.
Yeah, but don't be that guy, Chris. That's the guy nobody likes.
I hate that
Be the
guy.
good guy.
Chris was wrong. It is on Netflix.
Thank you. Thank you, Vito.
Thanks.
It's on Amazon.
Netflix makes it easier. I was hoping that my daughter would set that up for me. TJ, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Ron, your Twin Peaks is on Showtime, cable.
Yeah, but the new one or the old one?
Both. Right now you can watch the first 2 seasons and the prequel movie, which I recommend all of the above.
So much I gotta do.
I know.
And the prequel movie, and then the new season starts a week from Sunday, so you got like a week and a half to go.
I'm going to be honest.
All on Showtime, no computer.
I'm going to watch them, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to watch season 1 because it's great. Yeah. I'm going to watch the first half of season 2.
Yeah, season 2's weak.
And then I'm going to watch the last episode of season 2. I'm going to skip.
And then do the prequel. It's important. Do the prequel because you get all that great end of Laura Palmer's life, and you know it's not
is she
on
okay?
ABC.
Is Laura Palmer okay?
She's fine. Don't worry about her.
Good.
But yeah, there's a whole. I will say the show was very fun to watch, but season 2 not good. You want to watch the first couple of season 2, then I think he drops off for a while. Studio goes crazy, and that just loses.
Here's what happened when they announced that Laura Palmer's father was Jim Palmer, Orioles Hall of Fame pitcher and underwear model. Everybody was like, why is this even happening?
I know. That's
I'll tell you
season 2
why
for
it's
you.
happening. His fucking hair looked unbelievable. If you had hair like that and you could pitch, who cares if everybody's booing you at every fucking ballpark in America? What are you tapping away at there, Tappy?
Jim Palmer's hair.
No, we don't need... Everyone can close their eyes and see Jim Palmer's hair.
He painted a picture for me.
All you gotta do is close your eyes. You'll see Jim Palmer's beautiful hair.
There he is.
God, beautiful.
Gorgeous.
This kiss-up thing it's a little annoying, Chris.
I agree.
You never used to be that way. You never were the kiss-up guy.
I wasn't? I don't think I'm even kissing up right now. I'm just
you
saying.
just look gorgeous, yes. What Ron said. I want you to be an individual, the way Vito is. You know?
Look at him. He's like
his own man.
marching to the beat of his own drum.
You got this hat on, got these sunglasses.
He's a lone wolf. I'll call Vito into my office. You son of a bitch. I'll look at all these bills I have to look at because the cars you wrecked. You bring that criminal in or leave your badge and your gun here. Didn't everybody ever say to their fucking police commissioner, dude, you and I have known each other for 15 years. Where do you get off screaming at me like this?
We had you and your wife over for dinner last week.
You call these fucking mashed potatoes, Murphy? There's lumps in them. I never had one boss that screamed at me like that. Especially not if I was carrying a gun at the time. I'd just fucking shoot him right there. Now keep fucking screaming, prick. You fucking paper pushing motherfucker. There's something about those guys that are in charge in the police department.
Yeah.
They're abusive. They're verbally abusive. It's time for us to have a dish. A dish best served cold. We need a little bit of gossip. Gossip. We want gossip.
Gossip.
I think we're 2 lines too long with that. I'm going to be totally honest.
Yeah, we stopped having fun with it. At first, very excited.
Yeah. Let's dish. You like gossip though, right, Jen?
I do,
Yeah. She's a gossiping bitch.
Is that what it is? Hey, there should be like a gossipitch thing that we could call people who gossip a lot. She's a real gossipitch, that one. What was the term that you learned the other day about bad boyfriends? I believe it was...
It's cushioning. Is what you, it's when your shitty boyfriend is also got a couple other girls on the side that he's not necessarily sleeping with, but he's working them. So if this doesn't work out, he got some cushion to fall back on.
Can I say this? If all men aren't Kushners, then they're lying about it. Because you do want to kind of keep, you want to keep yourself in the game. You know what I mean? You don't want to be a guy who gets rusty, a la Chris Stanley, where you had to use Tinder to get out of it, or Vito, who's just shut himself down. Just because his ex is sleeping with a couple that we know.
Chris, are you a Kusher?
No, because, well, not in a relationship, but when I wasn't, no.
Right.
He doesn't work anything.
Yeah.
Apparently he does once he gets to Tinder. But like in here, I've never seen Chris being flirtatious with people who work here.
I don't even know what it might look like if Chris was flirting. Like, I think I could guess what it's like Vito flirting, because he has like a little bit of a flirty nature.
Yeah, he does.
But I could see how he would court a lady. I have no idea how I wouldn't even know how to call him out on, hey, you were just flirting with her.
I think that if you turned around and Chris's penis was out, you know,
he likes
that
her.
The dance has begun. Look at it. Let's dish. All right, let's hear some dish.
So to start off with my first dish story, I was scrolling through my Instagram, and one of the people I follow is like a famous actress, and she had a little teaser for a possible season 2 of one of my favorite shows.
Oh, dish.
And that show is Big Little Lies.
Really?
Ooh. So what was the post like?
So Reese, she had a picture of her and Lorna Dern and another cast member, and said, spending time with these ladies and working on some new lies.
I think she's toying with us.
You think she's fucking with us?
Mm-hmm.
I think it might be possible.
I don't know. One of those looks like a director's chair. That's the only thing that makes it.
Tell me lies, tell me lies, tell me big little
More
lies.
big little lies.
We want big little lies.
Tell me lies.
Well, that's pretty good. All right, so you're saying Big Little Lies coming back?
I think it's definitely coming back.
I say she's fucking with you.
No, I think it's possible. So our next dish story is one of our comedian friends. Paul Morrissey has a documentary.
Wait, hold
coming
on.
out.
We have a clip of him.
Okay.
I'm Paul Morrissey.
Sounds nothing like him.
First of all, I never would have believed that Paul Morrissey would show up.
Here's the thing that I love. Reese Witherspoon to Paul Morrissey. She's got it
out of my mind right now. I don't know what he's done. Is he sleeping up?
No, they're doing a documentary on him, KTF Films.
Wow.
And they've previously done documentaries on called Bat Kid and Witch Hunt on Netflix.
Wow. A Paul Morrissey doc?
I'm going to be watching this.
I hope it's called I'm Paul Morrissey.
You know what? I want to be.
Doesn't sound like him.
I want to be interviewed and I'll go like this. There's a lot of foods Paul won't eat. Foods most of us consider to be normal foods. Like they're on every menu that you see. He is a picky eater. Is this going to be about picky eating or is his wonderful stand-up?
No, it's about his stand-up.
I am so happy for him.
Yeah, it's going to be
Chris Stanley, I hate to wake you up, but book Paul Morrissey ASAP.
I'm going to look into that.
Hopefully he's involved in some kind of a murder.
You're going to look into booking him?
I'm going to
what's it? Skills right. What is it about your own job that you don't understand?
I'm going to see if I get a contact for Paul Morrissey.
I hate you with that little notebook.
I know. I also think it's a lie.
Big Little Lie?
I'm serious. I've seen him like write things in it, and then later that day I said, "Oh, Chris wrote that thing down for you, Vito. What was it?" And he's like, "I don't have it." Like, but I saw your hand moving while we talked about the thing Vito needed to do. It's not in here. I was like, "You're fucking lying." All right, dish.
So our next story is that Glenn Howerton and Patton Oswalt have gotten a series order on NBC.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it's going to be executive produced by Seth Meyers and a former SNL cast member.
All right, I just want to point this out. That's not gossip. That's news. That is literally news that they put out like a press release on.
That's salacious.
That's just in from Hollywood. We're making movies.
So this one's actually a little bit of gossip.
Yeah.
Patty LuPone threw a little shade at Madonna on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. She said Madonna is a movie killer. She's dead behind eyes. She cannot act her way out of a paper bag.
Wow.
She should not be in a film or on stage. She's a wonderful performer for what she does, but she is not an actress.
Patty's coming for you.
Patty.
Catty Patty. Catty LaPone.
Patti LuPone is one of those people you hear the name a million times and then you're not quite sure what she looks like because she's more of a stage actress, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Broadway.
She's, typically.
But everybody loves her in New York.
She is very, very beloved in New York City.
People will say, I went to this cabaret show and Patti LuPone dropped in and everybody went crazy.
I turned around and who was standing before me? Miss Patty.
I don't disagree that Madonna's not a real strong actor because she plays her best character is Madonna. You know what I mean?
Like the what was it, like the Who's That Girl or what was that one?
Who's That Girl?
Yeah, loved her in that.
You did.
I did. To me, like that's like one of my.
Oh, that was the first one.
Yeah, with the cougars in it.
The cougars were in it.
There's like a literal cougar, like a big cat, not like a sexual lady.
No, I don't think I know it.
So there's like a cat on the loose. I think it takes place in Philly, actually. I could be wrong.
What are you looking at pictures for? Go look at the IMDb.
He just pulled up a picture of a cougar. This is Mr. Bennington. This is what a cougar looks like.
Go back. Let's go through Madonna's movie background. Goes further down, like a person would.
At the beginning?
At the beginning is the bottom.
I'm going.
The beginning is not the top. It'd be like 83, 84.
All right. First is A Certain Sacrifice in 85.
I don't know what that is.
Made up.
She was in Desperately Seeking Susan.
That was first.
That was the big one.
Yeah.
And then who's that girl? Who was in it with her? Because I think this was a major flop.
Yeah. But I loved it as a kid.
Griffin Dunn was in it with her.
Right.
Yeah.
Griffin Dunn never has any good luck, and I think he's great.
That's when she had like the super short blonde hair.
Yeah.
Remember, she had like really, really short blonde hair. I love that version of Madonna.
I like the Desperately Seeking Susan Madonna. I thought she was fucking adorable in that.
But then what's the movie that she did where she's like on a beach and she did it with her guy?
Oh yeah, that was deep in her life. They were stranded. It was her.
I turned it off, and that's not a common thing for me because I'll get through any bad movie and just be like.
I like a scene where, and I know this is a genre that's been overdone, but I like a scene when a rich bitchy woman gets fucked by her servant and learns what dick is all about. And that's what they did in that. You think this isn't a big dick? Remember he was Italian or Spanish?
Swept Away.
What was it?
Swept Away was that movie. I ran out of water, Ron.
Did we catch you with the bull?
Wait, that's the Guy Ritchie movie?
That's the Guy Ritchie movie.
And that's the movie, like, he rapes her into liking him.
Yes.
It's a rape.
Well, we would call that 70s porn.
Mm-hmm.
That it starts as a rape, and then the woman starts demanding more and more. 70s porn.
Oof.
I guess it's based on realism. Isn't that what happens? Vito, do you like forced porn?
Like fantasy rape?
Yes, fantasy rape. If you want to use it.
I don't know. It feels really uncomfortable, even when it's a fictional
when it happens
setting.
to you.
No, it's never happened to me, but I just don't like watching it play out on the screen.
Chris told me today before you got there when we were having a smoke outside that he would let Summer Rae use a strap-on in him if he could have sex with her after.
What?
Yeah, that was the conversation.
That's how much he likes Summer Rae.
Yeah. I didn't think that you would be about that life.
Here's what I said to him.
Well, I'm not.
Would you let Vito use the strap-on on you, and then you could have sex with Summer Rae? Because it's the same strap-on. What do you care who's the one pushing it?
Yeah.
There's no, it's not his
Doesn't
penis.
matter.
Just
right, it's his strap-on.
Yeah.
You want me to fuck you?
Well,
with a strap-on.
Yeah, not with your penis, Vito.
You were about to say dick.
So yes or no?
Yes, that's what happened.
Okay.
So there you have it. Chris would let Vito bang him with a strap-on if he could have sex with a child.
No, not a child.
What?
No, summer rain.
That's what we said.
Of age.
In the summer rain.
That's what he said. So
They Summer Rain, the Instagram model.
All right, is that the end of the dish?
Well, we have one last one.
Good.
So David Spade put up a picture.
David Spade.
Come on.
But this one's actually really funny. This one's funny. I didn't want to do it.
What's David Spade doing in the news?
David Spade.
It's the first week of this, and David Spade has made it twice. What did he do now?
So him and the Catch Me Outside girl had a little beef. I couldn't resist this one. I thought about it like, this is funny. So he put up a picture of him and the Catch Me Outside girl. Like he ran into her at Catch LA, like a restaurant in LA. And, he posted the picture on his Instagram and said 5 minutes before this she became not famous anymore. And then she replied, I thought he was one of the waiters.
All right, they're both. You know what? Respect to both of them.
And the picture is really funny. Yeah. Like she doesn't even like she looks like I don't know who this is. Who I think he's a restaurant manager or something.
But he asked for it.
Yeah, he asked for the picture.
And then he's making fun of her. But he asked for it.
He asked for it and she doesn't know who he is. Catch me outside, David. How about that?
I think they fought to a comedic draw. And I'm very proud of both of them. Great fight, you two.
Is she drinking a Corona? Is that her beer?
No.
All right, good. She's 14.
She's 14?
She's 14 years old.
Yeah, you've already made weird comments. He once made a really uncomfortable comment about her breasts, and she's 14 years old.
I heard him say he wants to fitty tuck her.
What?
No, I never said that, dude.
What?
I made one observation that for a 14-year-old girl, she has very large breasts. Can
I tell you the truth, Chris?
Yes.
You'd be better off hitting her with your car. You would be in less trouble if you ran her down with your Impala that your dad left you, your 1974 Impala, than if you had sex with her, Catch Me Outside.
I don't want to.
See, I wouldn't even recognize her. I know the name because people talk about her, and I've seen some screaming stuff on a plane. But how is she making her money? Is she at a TV show?
She's getting $40,000 an appearance at clubs.
Jesus, that's good money.
And she is in talks to get a reality show. So she's like,
She should.
Yeah,
she definitely should.
Easy. That's easy money.
How about that?
You see, the Kardashians' ratings are way down.
Tanking?
Their ratings are tanking. And Caitlyn Jenner's book, I think it's called Snipped It, never got any higher than like 128.
Really?
Terrible fucking launch.
What's happening?
Well, the show, like if you watch the show, it's all stuff that happened like 6 months ago, and they're all so big on social media. So I don't understand who watches the show.
I never watched the show, but I was flipping through and saw one where she was talking about about Paris.
That's what I saw.
And I was like, oh, this must be a rerun. And they were like, no, this is like the first time. And I was like, they're just getting to this. This world moves too fast, Kardashians.
Yeah, and they're all over Snapchat and Instagram, so I feel like people are like, oh, I already know how they reacted to Paris, and I already know what happened in the episode.
It's a good point. I hate to say that Vito has came up with a logical programming mistake that they're making. But yes, the world moves fast, and for whatever reason, people don't like anything that's old. They want up-to-date news.
Yeah.
Now, but here's something, and you could break this for Let's Dish. Where's Kanye?
So Kanye, they actually just put out something that he's like, I don't know exactly what state he's in, but he's somewhere making music. Like he's in hiding.
That's bullshit.
Just like when he did My Beautiful Twisted Dark Fantasy. Yeah. He just does that whenever he's recording an album, just like rents a home and just like hides out.
And he has nothing to do with the Kardashians anymore.
I mean,
he's done with Kim.
No,
and those stupid children.
No.
Get rid of those kids.
Tired of my wife and my stupid children.
Is he on a mountain?
I feel, it might be a mountain.
He's recording his music on a mountain right now.
All right, you might think that because you follow his Instagram, but did you see the Bow Wow thing from yesterday?
I saw that too.
So Bow Wow puts up a picture of a private jet, right? But then somebody takes a picture of him an hour later flying commercial.
Fuck, that's funny.
Oh my God. So he just like walked up to a plane and took a picture.
That was like a stock photo, to be totally
Yeah, it's a
honest.
stock photo,
I
yeah.
was just Googling.
Oh my God. That's really embarrassing.
Now, did he say he was getting on this plane or just put
Yeah,
baller
he
life?
said stepping into New York right now because he's promoting growing up hip hop. So that's
So he thinks his fans want him to fly private. Now, by the way, it's so expensive to fly private, but even if you own a plane, it's expensive just to have it sitting there. So they rent them all the time. People that own planes don't even get their planes every time they want it. They're like, I'm sorry, sir, your plane's in St. Louis.
I don't think I would want to own I can't imagine that
Fly
being
private.
a luxury.
Rice once, and you would love it more than anything else. Like yesterday when Comey was leaving, they show him driving up. He gets into the plane, the door shuts, and they just roll onto the runway. The thing that annoys you about flying is never the flight. It's getting there early, going through all the bullshit, sitting, waiting for your plane to be called, your row to be called. Then you're sitting out there. You're on a plane 45 minutes before the thing starts to taxi. And you're like,
yeah,
I'm fucking 1/4 of the way through the flight in my mind, but we haven't even taken off yet.
But they also just never seem, they just don't seem safe
They're
to me.
very safe. They're safer.
They are?
Yes, they're safer.
I had no idea. Because I have a thing with planes, like I don't want it to be too little and I don't want it to be too big. I need a very
Imagine a plane,
medium-sized plane.
All right, imagine that as comfortable as you're sitting right now, we'd be flying this whole time. That's how comfortable it is.
I know, but very in a small plane.
It's not that small.
I thought they were tend to be on the smaller side.
You're not getting in a fucking Piper Cub. You're getting in a nice, comfortable plane that you're fucking stretching out. It's got a pisser in there. But here's the thing. Here's the stewardess, and she's going like this. Yeah, here's the sandwiches you wanted. You know what I mean? Like it's like
everything,
food that you want.
Right.
And there's no security. You just roll up.
No security.
That's amazing.
Your driver takes you right up. You get on. The fucking pilot puts your bag up.
Yeah.
He's like a buddy to you now. You're like friends with him. And it's open. You can go up in the cockpit if you want to.
I would.
Yeah.
That I think I would like.
When I was flying private, our show, Fez was nervous about it. And then, remember Fast Eddie? He was up fucking around in the cockpit. And Fez was saying to me, Ronnie, please get him out of there. Get him out of there. And then here's the other thing that he did to freak Fez out that he told the pilot on. As he was getting in the plane, he put a penny and some quarters up on the wing. And Fez was saying, they're going to blow into the fucking jet thing and blow out the engine. And I go like this. I was laughing like you, and I go, wait, that doesn't make sense. Some shit like that could happen. It's the fucking best. I know what I saw Patti LuPone in. She played Danny DeVito's wife in The Comedian, starring Robert De Niro.
Oh, yeah.
And Nick DiPaolo and Jim Norton.
Nice.
3 buddies were together.
I've got to see that.
Comedian. When in The Comedian, when De Niro looks at Nick DiPaolo and he goes, "You what? You fucked my wife? What? You fucked my wife?" Perfect. It was great. Chris, can I take a break right now?
Yes, you can.
All right. Make sure I don't have to do a live read.
Oh, you have to do a couple.
Why?
You have a lot of live reads.
About what?
Edible arrangements.
Cool.
I do like edible arrangements. I gave my mom an arrangement that was an edible one. She called me up. She said, "What are you doing?"
Oh my gosh,
Like
you
the
shouldn't do
arrangement.
that. Yeah. That could be dangerous for moms.
I go, "Eat the fruit, Mom. You're going to love it."
Mother's Day is Sunday. Celebrate all the moms in your life with a very thoughtful gift from Edible Arrangements. Beautiful, handcrafted, fresh fruit arrangements. Some favorites are the Mother's Day Swizzle Bouquet, an incredible fruit arrangement crafted with fresh pineapple daisies, chocolate dipped strawberries decorated with swizzle, a Mother's Day gourmet Belgian chocolate pop, or the Mother's Day berries featuring mouth-watering chocolate-covered strawberries, all perfectly packaged in a pretty box. Seriously, how delicious does that sound?
Edible Arrangements has so many unique and tasty gifts to choose from. You'll have no problem finding something to show Mom just how much you appreciate her. The best part? Order now and save 20% off site-wide with code MDAY1000. Edible arrangements delivering all weekend, so consider your Mother's Day surprise chocolate covered. Visit your local edible arrangement store or edible.com today.
Bennington.
It's the Bennington Show.
It certainly is.
All right, Jen wanted to ask us a question, she said, and I said, you know what, this one time I'm going to give you the opportunity, but I just want to remind people, George Slaughter, the man who was the executive producer and the creator of Laugh-In, is coming in to do a Unmasked with us, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Go to the iBang for tickets. Now, did you give them? I don't know what he means. It's so funny tonight. Jen, you were asking about a mama's boy, which, Vito, you were a mama's boy, right?
Huge mama's boy.
Chris?
Mama's boy.
And I'm a mama's boy. So what was is it something that girls don't like?
I think that we kind of like to be daddy's girls. Like, we like the acceptance of our dad.
Are you closer with your dad or your mom?
I'm closer with my mom.
Right.
But I wish I was closer with my dad.
Well, dads are aloof. You're not going to get around that. I didn't have, my mom kind of forced me and my dad to talk on the phone all the time once I became an adult. So she's like, let me put your dad on. And then after that, she'd be like, you haven't called your dad in a while. And that's because of this thing that we sit down and we discuss once a week. Although my dad's getting older and he goes like this to me yesterday. You haven't called me in months. I go, you know what, dude? I might as well not, if that's how much you're going to remember about it.
You call him every week.
Yeah. And the other thing that annoyed me, he started explaining the baseball package to me. And he goes, Ron, thank you. I love this, that you got me all the baseball games. So I go, dude, if I told you how many years now I've gotten you the baseball games, and you're just acting like I got it this year. Bugging me a little bit. Are you closer with your mom or your dad?
That's tricky because I think a lot of people assume that because I work with my dad, that's got to be the closer relationship. But I'm very close with my mom.
It's not even close who you're closer with. You're closer with your mom.
I'm very, very close with my mom. Like I call my mom every morning. Yeah. Sometimes
bitch
twice a day.
You don't have the ability to bitch to your dad. Like, oh, this is bugging me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't care, dude.
Yes. I don't come to you with like personal issues or just like personal stress.
Or anything. Anything that's bugging you. You would not come to me with.
Yeah, because it's like, you got a lot on your plate. You know what I mean?
The wall's up.
Yeah.
I don't help people with their personal problems. But your brother is closer with your mom, too. But I prefer it that way. I think that's the way life is supposed to work. Like, when I was younger and I had trouble, I didn't go to my dad with it. I said to my mom, I go, Mom, Dad might have to go to this court appearance with me. Could you talk to him? So I would never talk directly to my dad like, hey, it looks like I'm doing summer school. Tell Dad. You know what I mean?
Right.
Fuck it, you know?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to meet the full brunt of his just finding out anger.
You're like, you do it nice. You tell him the way you...
Yeah.
But yeah, like I have girlfriends who have like a far closer personal relationship with their dad. And like I know people who, like girls who say...
Molly was that way.
That they go to their dad when they're like, I just had a breakup and I'm heartbroken. No. Dad makes me feel better.
Weird. No, I would only say this to you. I told you that you date losers, and I was right.
Yes. This is probably what would be said.
No, I actually, if you ever noticed this, I never commented on any of your boyfriends.
No.
You know why? Did it with my sisters. It doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So with you, I was like, I'd also heard a song by 38 Special that meant a lot to me. It was called Hold On Loosely.
Yes, you did.
And it really changed everything.
It really, it like informed so much.
I go, okay, so you're there for them, but you're holding on loosely.
Yeah, just...
But you and your sister feel like you're very close with your dad, Jen.
Well, my sister's close to my dad, and I'm close with my mom.
Oh,
teens.
Yeah.
Teens.
Every time she goes through a breakup or asks for advice, it would always be to my dad. Like, she won't even tell my mom. They're very, very close.
What do you call your dad?
Reginald.
See, that's probably why You're not close.
It took me a while to figure out. I was like, is this her brother? Is this a friend of hers? And she's like, yeah, Reginald's gonna pick me up. I'm like,
why do you call him Reginald?
I gave him a nickname. Like, I just used to call him Reggie. I don't know why I give every one of my friends' family, like, nicknames. And it just stuck. And, like, all my friends now call him Reggie. They call my mom Patty.
Wait, he's not Reggie? That's not his real name?
His name's Reynolds.
Oh my God, what if I would have called him Reginald?
He wouldn't have.
He would accept.
Yeah, he would accept it because everybody calls him that.
But that's the equivalent of, like, calling him Dad. I just thought this whole time his name was Reginald.
Now, Chris,
oh my God.
if you have a
Mr.
problem,
Reginald,
right?
Yeah.
Do you go to your dead dad or your dead mom?
Neither.
Which one do you go to?
Neither. I go to neither.
Who would you?
Did you ever have like one thing where you got advice from your dad?
When I was 18, he gave me condoms. This was the talk. This was the advice.
Yeah.
He says,
yeah, very late.
use condoms and
They were
Jewish
used?
No.
Oh
He said
my God,
use
that's
condoms.
No. Used condoms.
No.
Used condoms. Here they are. I used them.
Oh.
No, not my dad's jizz. Use condoms and Jewish girls love dick. And that's his, that's verbatim from Mr. John Stanley.
Well, he's 100% right.
They do, but you know what? I hear this from Jewish girls that they're a little picky about the swallow factor.
Oh.
So it's like they won't do it, is what I'm told by good Jewish girls that I know.
Can I tell you this? This was always my thing when guys are like, she's good, but she won't swallow. I go like this. Once it's out of you, what do you fucking care what she does with it? Spit, swallow, put it in a mayonnaise jar, mail it to Ethiopians, give them a little fucking protein. It's gone. It's out of your ball sack. Let it go where it goes. That's none of my business now. That becomes her cum, not mine.
This is for you.
Yeah. So, I don't care if they rub it on their eyebrows. I think that's their own thing.
Yeah.
Let it dry. You let that dry.
I like to see it, you know?
But I always believed that was, you know what, that thing that you heard? I always believed that to be anti-Semitic talk, because Jewish comics would act like their wives never wanted to give head.
Yes.
And people believed it. Now, when I was younger, right, and this was a given. This is how much the world has changed. Black guys did not go down on their chicks.
Yeah.
And when we would be getting high with our friends, our black friends, we would talk about cunnilingus, and they would be like, ooh, oh my God, ooh. And then we would do it more and more to, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah, just because that was an enjoyable part of the thing. By the way, this is how racism works, right? I had black friends, and that was like a huge step ahead from my parents' generation. But my children thought that I was racist because I would bring up black friends instead of just saying friends. I go, my black friend, and they're going, that's racist. I go, I just said friend. You don't need to say black or white. I do. I want to get some credit. Well, he won't go down on his girl. They did not. Now, had you ever heard that, Jen?
Yeah, most black guys, even today, some of them won't do it.
Is that true?
Really?
Well, when I was younger, it was 100% across the board. I believe black women could thank Pornhub for showing that this is one of the things.
I think that they're catching up with the times, though.
No, yeah, they've definitely come around. Some of them come around.
Now,
the pretty boys.
Now, pretty boys will do it?
Pretty boys, yeah.
Really?
But the
And
hard, like,
thugs.
gangster thug ones,
Yeah.
definitely not, no.
I will say
They
this.
won't admit it. That's really what it is.
You want to know the difference between black women and white women when it comes to sex? A black woman is more likely to say, you just hit my spot. That's my spot. And you don't hear white women saying you just hit my spot.
But you know what the thing is like that's the stereotype, and yet why is it that all black female rappers just solely rap about cunnilingus? Like Mitzi's favorite thing to talk about is someone going down on her.
Yes, because it's so rare. You know what I mean? It's the same way they talk about gold, diamonds, and platinum. These are rare things in life, and you are ahead of the game if you get it.
Gotcha.
But
She's
it
the
is
kind of woman someone would agree to that.
Yeah.
And it almost makes you feel like a more alpha female, like, yeah, I got him to go down on me sort of thing.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Because white women do not brag about that.
No.
Yeah.
I actually think that, like, they don't even care. Like, they're more of, like, giving than receiving, I think, white girls.
Well, you know why? Because that keeps you a good girl. If you're a good girl if you suck on a penis, you're a bad girl if you sit on a penis.
Dude, my most favorite thing is Prince in black sweat saying, I'll have you screaming like a white lady.
That's fucking hilarious.
like black chicks are just like quietly taking it like, that's okay.
And then
white chicks are like, yay!
And then be like, you just hit my spot. All right, so we fixed all that.
Yeah, now no post.
Isn't that really awful that it came from daddy, daughter, and mommy?
Yeah,
son
how did
talk?
that happen?
Yeah. Horrific. Horrific.
My least favorite part is when Chris said that he likes to see his semen. I'm not going to get over it for days.
Don't like it.
I don't like it.
Don't like him.
If I don't see it, it's like it didn't happen.
No, stop, Chris. I'm
just
really going to throw up.
I'm just being honest.
That's like so gross, and it's like
the reason why your honesty keeps you getting for a second Tinder date. And I think you owe us money because you bet us that you would get a second Tinder date with Whiskey Dick. I think
yeah,
we
dude,
put money
that
down
was like
on it.
my call too. I said, "There's no way this chick is getting back to you." Like, there's
you know
no
what
way.
I was thinking? I didn't think Chris would want to see her again after a fucking defeat like that.
And he was confident. It wasn't just like,
confident.
no, I think that like whatever. He was just like, there's no way. Like, it's definitely happening. It went very well, despite the fact that my dick didn't work. And I'm like, that's a pretty big thing.
The thing is,
it's a pretty big thing.
Women blame themselves for that instead of blaming you.
That makes me fucking feel really bad.
You should fucking feel bad.
Yeah, I do.
She felt like she wasn't attractive enough to get you fucking hard. Right, this is a Chris Stanley story. You say that that coffee shops are getting rid of their Wi-Fi?
Yeah, certain independent coffee shops around the country are saying no more Wi-Fi because we want people to talk to each other and not just be on their laptops and on their phones using our Wi-Fi.
I think they're lying. I think what they want is for someone not to use their fucking coffee shop as a 9-hour office. Now, the coffee shop that I go to, not many tables, always filled, single people typing away. They use it because they got small New York apartments. They use this as if it's their office.
Yes.
Then later they'll like, I have a meeting coming up in 2 hours, so please, can you people keep it down?
They really shush people?
No, I made that up.
I
hear things in my head that
I worked in a coffee shop, and it was so annoying, the people who would just post up all day, buy one coffee, maybe a fucking scone, and take up a table all fucking day.
I was over in Brooklyn not too long ago. I see a coffee shop. I go, thank God, it's huge, not like Manhattan shops. Even though it was gigantic, there were people, they look like UN, hot, young 20-somethings. And there were 40 of them, 40 tables, 40 people.
Yep.
And that was it. You couldn't get a fucking table. And I said to the guy, we can't get a table here. He goes, yeah, I know. We're always busy. I go, you're not busy. You're letting people use your fucking restaurant. That'd be like, can you imagine I finish my eggs and I just sit in the fucking diner all day? That's crazy.
It's so weird.
That they're okay with it.
And you would just like, not just imagine like, let's say you're not on your laptop. You would just take out a book and you just start reading in a booth in a diner long after you've paid your bill. You'd be dragged out of there. They would drag you out.
That reminds me, I need a new book. I've been going through books like there's no fucking tomorrow.
Fiction or nonfiction?
You know, do you got a good fiction for me?
No, I'm just testing the water. See what I'm looking for.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to find me a great fiction book that I like. I mean great.
Yeah.
A book that when I'm done it annoys me. I'm like, oh, I'm going to miss my favorite friends now. They're gone.
I mean, if I'm going to find this for you, by me finding it, I mean, I'm going to ask Larry and Lori from Yonkers.
Good idea. Get them to know me, what I'm into, what I like.
Yeah.
I know what they're going to say. Oh, you got a rock biography, Tio. Yeah, I read them all the time.
Talk about your loves, your fears, your dreams.
I have an erotic novel you can read. You can read Maestra. I mean, it's a fun
Why are you always talking about Maestra? This dude is always talking about Maestra.
New York Times bestseller. All right, I'm not. It's not just me. It's me and plenty of other women out there buying this book.
I never even heard of this.
It's already optioned for a movie. So we'll be seeing Maester on the big screen.
What's it about?
It's about a art dealer who gets sucked into the world of international European art dealing, and
Wait, hold on. So he is an art dealer. She is an art dealer, and then she gets sucked into the world of international art dealing, not just regular.
First of all,
national art dealing.
That'd be like saying, even though I've been doing radio for decades, I've been sucked into the world of radio. See what I'm saying, Chris?
What she gets sucked into is the seedy underbelly of the art world, where she has to like deal with like fake paintings being sold.
Well, first of all, I would love to be an art dealer. You know why? It looks easy, and you get cheese every night of your life.
Yeah.
So,
cheese and
but I really would like, I bought this for fucking $10 and I sold it for $10 million. Like every time I hear one of those stories, I'm like, why can't I do something like that?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good day's work for me.
There's a story like that in Maester. That's where Maester is centered around. This is just one piece of artwork.
Gail, you're laughing. He's starting to get me really caught up in the Maester.
You're being sucked into his world.
Yes. I could be sucked. I was set out to read a book and then was sucked into the world of reading. Seriously, this sounds good.
And it's sexy, and it's fucking, you read.
Does any of it take place in New York where I could go look at some of the same places?
It's mostly in Morocco. Not Morocco. It's in, England.
Is this written in English?
It's in English, yes. The British woman wrote this.
Yeah.
She's like a art history like person. So like all art shit's like.
That's what I would like to. I'd like to be an art history person. Like you see that painting, you think it's shit. It's worth $3 million. I'd like to be that fucking guy.
It's a lot of the Mediterranean. It's centered around the Mediterranean.
So what's the erotic? There's S&M?
Is it? I don't think there's S&M. She just likes to bang. She just likes to have sex, and she also becomes a hooker at one point. I'm not giving too much away.
I don't like hooker things.
But she's not like a hooker. She's not like a prostitute.
Like, again, when it comes, because there's a lot of people talking about, is it smart to legalize prostitution?
Yes.
Are you for or against that?
For legalizing prostitution, yes.
Vito?
I'm for it.
Chris?
Let's say legalize prostitution.
So nobody's against it?
No.
This would get 100% vote in this country. Look, there's nothing I hate more than the term human trafficking. It makes me sick.
Yes.
Here's what I worry about with legalized prostitution. I think you'd be more likely to have girls that are 18 thinking it's an option that wouldn't think it was an option today.
Yes, but weighing on the other side.
Weigh on it.
The safety.
Right.
The fact that, the idea that not only are these girls, we could do a better job not putting them in physical danger, but that they could actually, have like health insurance or, you know what I mean? Like
all that is a plus.
Yeah.
But what isn't a plus is to now consider that a career option the way that Hooters girls became a career option for the second that you graduated.
But, look, it's out there. Stripping is a possibility. Porn is a possibility. All of these things.
I don't know if those are good options for young ladies.
They're not, but the more that you're not going to eradicate those things.
Porn is a very good thing. So there's a lot of porn for young people. First time porn is a big deal, right? It's a big seller.
Right.
So you could pay a young lady to have sex, film it, sell it, and that's legal, but you can't pay a young lady to have sex.
Right.
And not film
it doesn't make sense.
That's pretty crazy.
It doesn't make any sense. It's just so stupid.
Now, I was seeing this on the CBS Sunday show, that Seattle, home of the Seahawks, they have taken up a gimmick where they arrest the Johns, but not the hookers. For years, we arrested the hookers and not the Johns.
And then sometimes, when some states just like put out like posters of a bunch of Johns they arrested, just like to expose them.
That I don't know, Chris. I'll say yes.
I feel
because
like
I want to see you get a win. You just turn me on to this fucking book, Mastodon.
Maestra.
That I want to read.
Ron.
It's about finding a fucking elephant from the past.
You're sucked into that world. You're sucked into the world of woolly mammoths.
That literally was one of the funniest things that you've seen. And when you say something funny like that, you don't stop. You just we want to stop and point out how amusing it is. You're just like, wait, let me just say this.
And then he gets louder.
Yeah,
like he's like, what I said was. And you're like,
you want to enjoy it.
Good book.
Chris?
So we all agree that it's crazy. And where are you guys on drugs? Would you let anybody take any drug they want?
Yeah, I'm for decriminalizing
heroin.
drugs.
A person could do heroin.
I'm for,
yes or no?
Yeah, I'm for decriminalizing
heroin.
I would go no heroin, but yes on other drugs.
Like what?
I think that there should be more lax rules on, like, marijuana, obviously. Coke, I think, should be more lax because it's just dangerous out there.
So just drugs
Molly
you like?
No. I mean, like, the ones like, I think that the ones like that where, like, Molly and MDMA, where you're not going to stop kids from doing it, but, like, kids are going to go out to clubs and they're going to get it in dangerous ways that were made in people's...
Oh, yeah, but why does that have to do with heroin? Heroin, the same thing happens.
Yeah.
Young people go out and get heroin, it's been stepped on.
Of course.
You're making that safer.
Yeah, and I, again, would say what you're drawing a line of a drug that crosses your personal line.
Right. Which, by the way, is a sign of racism. Because the courts have always been harder on crack than they are on coke.
Yes.
And they're harder on heroin because they think that's done by old jazz musicians.
Yes.
So you're a fucking racist, Vito.
In many ways you are.
You guys can turn me around on heroin. There's time.
I don't want so. I'd rather call you racist.
I'm going to shoot you up for your first time.
Get me on
That's
heroin.
how I'm going to turn you around.
I want to just define you as a racist.
I don't want to be racist. Let's just get me on heroin. Let's just figure this out.
You know who's taking heroin now? People that were on oxys and find heroin to be a cheaper purchase for the same kind of high.
Yeah, oxys are expensive as fuck.
They didn't used to be. They used to be fucking cheap as fuck.
And now there's like Roxasets and whatever the hell.
Yeah,
and
but what's happening is because they're clamping down on it.
Yeah.
So it gets more expensive. When you had a Dr. Feelgood fucking handing them out 100 at a time, life was great. Right, so he's a racist. Chris, you're obviously sexist.
No, I'm
Definitely.
not.
What am I?
I gotta find out. All right, hold on. All right, this is one that Laurie and Larry wrote up. Sweet Bitter, a thrilling young novel, the senses of a coming-of-age tale. Small-town girl in the electrifying world of New York City. An education of a lifetime in one of the most exclusive restaurants in Manhattan. Is it a real place?
Oh.
I would, it's based on, not a real place.
Okay. You know, for mine, I feel like I have to go out of current New York City. Like, I need to go to a place
You want it to be farther away. You want to be in the past.
Or, it doesn't,
Deep in the future.
Yeah, or in the woods.
Yeah.
I don't know, like some sort of rural area. Something that's not what I see every day.
I was just, my friend Leslie said Ethan Hawke just made his best movie. And
really?
And I said, I go, now you're fucking...
Excuse me?
You're talking big time because he's made a lot of great movies in the last 10 years. And he plays this small town guy in Nova Scotia. And he falls... Well, first he takes this woman in, and she's like a folk art painter who suddenly gets the claim. I saw the trailer for it. It's called Maud. It's spelled Maudie. But it looks really good. It looks really good.
I'm going to check it out because you know I love him. Head over heels for him.
You should be. He's one of the few actors that we have that can make small independent films and do it well. Chris, I also got a movie for you.
Oh, what's that?
Transformers 6.
All right. Well, I missed 5. I hope I can still follow this.
One of these Transformers turns into an airplane.
Oh, he's going to love that.
A flying Transformer?
Yeah. They all fly, Chris. They all fucking fly.
Well, one's a truck.
Hey, Ryan, what's up?
Yeah, hey, buddies.
Yeah.
Hey, when I moved back from Colorado back in 2001, they had it on like the channel. I don't know, channel 10. I lived near Colfax, where all the hookers were.
Yeah.
And City Park, and
they had a channel where they would put all the Johns on TV, just one after another. I don't if there was a doctor, a lawyer, just a...
Yeah, I don't know the purpose of that. I don't know if you can shame people out of their sexuality, you know? Like, remember when they said that they were putting out the names and addresses that everybody that belonged to a certain dating site or something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the one that cheated, Ashley. Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know if that's going to embarrass people enough to stop. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you can squash sexuality with people, or, you know, for all the people who are very liberal about gays and transgender people, but aren't, don't feel anything for lonely old guys who just want to find somebody to have sex with and willing to pay money for it. You know what I mean? Like, it is, when you really think about what you're taking away from some people, it's not, doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
You know?
I think, across the board, it's negative for all parties.
I wonder if a lot more women, would use this if it was suddenly illegal. Because I know a lot of middle-aged women who seem like they've given up their dating life completely.
Really?
Yeah, they get to a certain point and it's just about them and their lady friends going out to dinner. You know?
Just because it's like maybe, you know, they want to continue companionship, but the physical has completely dropped off.
Well, they just don't feel, but if they had a young stud, maybe they don't want to fucking do it with a 59-year-old man.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Stella wants a group back, right? That was the movie?
That has nothing to do with this fucking topic. She did not get a young male prostitute for herself. You're a racist and a misogynist.
Unbelievable. Now you're both.
Yeah.
Now you're both.
And you're homophobic.
I'm not homophobic.
The thing that you said about not wanting him with a strap on, but you would take it from a girl. That's homophobic.
Really was.
Patrick, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
Ronnie, you talking about a book you wanted to hear about. I just read Robert O'Neill's book, The Guy Who Shot Osama Bin Laden.
Yeah.
Biography. He's from Butte, Montana, and
I know his whole story. I've seen stuff of it, but I've also seen the other guys that were with him that are basically like he's a piece of shit because none of us tell this story, and he took an oath to us and broke that oath.
Interesting.
And it's a very yeah.
But one of the things he says about that, and it happens to a buddy of his before that. He was there. His team was there when they got the guy from saved Captain Phillips.
Yeah.
Right. And the guy who took the shot with Captain Phillips, all his buddies on his team kind of turned on him too, because like, oh, now you're the hero, and they started talking shit about that guy because he's the guy that took the shot, and he wasn't talking about it, but that's everyone around him was like, well, they all get a little jealous. He was saying basically the same thing, that all of a sudden, he wasn't talking about it, but everybody else was, and they're all pointing fingers at him like, you're an asshole, you're famous now. And he's like, well, I haven't said anything, I haven't talked to anybody.
But this guy, Robert O'Neill, did, and he made money off of it, and part of that thing of being a SEAL is that you don't do that. So, I mean, I saw a lot, about it, and obviously I'm not a SEAL, I shouldn't really care one way or another, but it does seem weird when someone writes something about themselves and all their friends call them a bullshitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of fucks it up for me.
And they have the thing too where they even don't say who the specific person is who who put the bullet in them, right?
Right, because they're saying it's all us. It's a team.
Right.
We're here as a team. There's no quarterbacks and wide receivers. Now you have a cousin. No, you have an uncle who met him at the guy gave a speech, and then this was before the book came out, and then they all went and got their picture, and then he leaned over and said in your uncle's ear, "You're shaking the hand of the guy who killed Bin Laden." That's what he whispered in his ear.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
Whoa.
I'm going to write it down for you.
Please do.
Do you think you have a guess which one?
Yeah, I have a guess.
I'm going to take you as true, but this is the one? Is this the one you thought?
Correct.
Yeah.
It's a match.
Because he has to go to all those sales things all the time.
Yeah.
When you're in sales, they're constantly bringing in, here's a general to talk to you what it's like about going for it. You're like, I don't know. Here's a football coach who wants to teach you about doing the best thing you can.
How does this
will help
relate?
you sell more.
You're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm selling software on the phone. Should we break here, Chris?
Yeah, we can break here.
Is our guest here? Here or not here, Chris? Answer.
I believe not here.
Okay, so maybe
we'll wait.
no. Let's do one more. I haven't let Vito bring up anything today.
I know.
And he's been, to me, he's the best of the best. So,
before he does, can I say something?
Yeah.
That this Irish American organization is called like Irish Network USA tweeted about GPS Ireland last night.
Really?
Yeah, it's like check it out, go see it, check it out on demand if you missed it. It's all Irish bands. So I thought that was really cute.
First of all, I love how the Irish love the Irish. You know what I mean? They're very proud of the Irish.
Also, Frankie McDonald tweeted to us last night a video that he wanted us to see, I guess, of him talking about Florida's drought.
Oh, put it on, Chris. Put it the fuck on. We got to get Frankie McDonald back on the show.
I know.
I understand from him that he's doing really great.
He is.
I didn't know Florida had a drought.
I didn't either, and this was very informative. He's just kind of reporting on exactly what's going on with the drought. Just alerting people, really.
Hey, my name is Frankie McDonald. Florida's been having a lot of drought lately. Florida, you need a lot of rain because plants and animals need rain and agriculture need rain downstate of Florida. Fruits and oranges and plants down in Florida and animals and livestock, they need a lot of rain downstate of Florida because Florida's having a lot of drought lately. Florida, you need to get a lot of rain. That's good for the plants and animals. And you need sun down in Florida too. Because a lot of drought's going on in Florida. You need a lot of rain to keep those plants alive and animals alive. You need lots of water for cows and horses and all the other animals to drink water for Florida because Florida's getting a lot of drought lately. Florida, including Orlando and Miami, you need lots of rain. For plants, animals, agriculture, and all those fruits and vegetables and farms down in Florida. Thanks for watching. I'm Frankie McDonald.
Could we retweet that with Frankie's doing a great job talking about the drought?
He's really doing a great job. Best of luck to us.
He's looking out for the agriculture.
Not many suggestions on what to do.
But we need it.
He's like, you need this.
He's right about that. You need it for vegetables, fruits, oranges, animals, livestock.
He's totally right. Get it together, Florida. Get that rain.
So, Vito, what is it that you wanted to talk about, buddy? What's in Vito's world? By the way, you know who Vito looks like with the hat today? And it's like when Jim Morrison got busted for taking his dick out. Because remember he had that beard and he was wearing the weird hat and for some reason he had like a fucking goat on stage. Yeah, man. Goat up here. Alright, what is it you wanted to talk about?
Well, did you hear that, so Matt Harvey got suspended for 3 days because
Mets
he did
talk.
No, but listen, it's good Mets talk. He got suspended for 3 days because he went out partying till 4 a.m.
Yeah.
It just came out why he was getting drunk all night.
Because his ex was with somebody.
Ex was with Julian Edelman, and it broke him up so much that he...
who's Julian Edelman?
Patriots player.
Okay, so you gotta bring that up for people.
So
not everybody's fucking...
I didn't know. I was very confused.
Yeah, would you check your phones, Vito? You just let him ring off the fucking hook. The hotline is going. How come there's not like a thing in there? But I'm trying to bring him into the fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Springsteen and the Mets every time I do it. He just must sit in his house. Springsteen, Mets.
He's got Google
Mets.
alerts.
Springsteen, Mets. That's what's fucking going off in his head. And in the meantime, I look over and a big star like Amy Miller is on the hotline and Vito wasn't even checking.
That's my friend. Why wouldn't he tell me this?
Because he was thinking, Springsteen, Mets. What is it that, I can't even get his attention now. He's not putting her on hold. What's going on with Amy?
I have to find out. I was just grabbing.
I'll go to her, but here's what I'm trying to say. Well, you're trying to tell me about the Mets for the 900th time. Amy Miller's on. She's a big comedy star.
I know.
Okay?
And a dear friend.
She's shaking the world of comedy up. I can't even believe that you know her, Gail.
I know. It's pretty shocking.
Yeah. Amy Miller, how are you, darling?
Good. I'm Gail's friend.
Hi,
Yes.
Amy.
How are you guys?
Do you think of her as a friend back to Amy, or is it just an acquaintance?
I think of her as a good friend.
I know for you, it's a difficult thing to give your friendship to someone.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's rare for me.
Well, and Amy, even rarer still, and me, I don't even attempt it.
It's hard for me, yes. I have a lot of issues. I want to tell you guys something about that Bin Laden guy.
Yeah.
I'm also at the airport, so sorry about the noise, but there's a lady comedian whose name I won't say who had sexual relations with that gentleman.
What?
And apparently he brings up killing Bin Laden during sex.
Oh!
I need to know who this is.
Is he like this? I'm gonna fucking crush that pussy the way I crushed Bin Laden. Wow.
I'll text it to you guys, but I can't say it on the air. Although the only reason I know about it is because the week that she did it, she said it on stage.
Oh, great.
On every show.
That's why I love her already. I love her.
Yeah, she's pretty much the best.
Is it somebody that we know?
It could be. She lives in New York, but I'm not sure. If you don't know her, you should know her.
Could I just guess?
Yeah, guess.
Was it Rachel Feinstein?
No.
No, that would have been good.
Oh, that would be good.
Oh, no, wait. That guy was white. We got to think of who this comedian is. Amy, where are you flying off to?
I'm going to Chicago. Oh, I have a show there tonight, if anybody wants to go.
Go see Amy.
Go
She's
see
so
her.
funny.
I'm at a place called At North at 8 o'clock, and I'm headlining, so I'll do like an hour or something. And it's only $10.
Only $10, and you're going to get an hour from her.
Yeah, and if you can't go tonight, I'll be at the Laugh Factory all weekend. But there's something else I want to tell you guys about. Do you know about this Twitter account, Italians Mad at Food?
No, I've never heard of this.
It's just under Italian comments, but it's fucking hilarious. It's pretty much just Italian people yelling about recipes on the internet.
First of all, this is great. And Vito, this is the way your family feels about food, right? They get angry?
Yes, very.
If someone fucks with it?
Yeah, you get very angry.
That's why I thought of you guys. I thought of Vito right away, but it's all very dramatic. You know, it's just like a lady's name, like Julia D'Agostino or whatever, and they're just like, chicken broth and bolognese. Somebody fucking kill me.
All right, Amy, text us that name. I'm dying to hear it.
I will let you know. You guys should have her on, and she'll probably tell you all about it.
All right. Love you, darling.
Hey, miss you guys.
Bye, miss you.
Bye, Amy.
Bye.
She's not your friend, Chris.
Why would you do the bye, Amy?
I want to let Amy know that.
You didn't say one word to her the entire time. You just wanted to
didn't
get
even
on the
seem
goodbye.
that excited to say hi.
Come on, I love Amy.
You can't bye and not hi.
Really? Then why didn't you say hello to her?
Good point.
Because you like to go bye, because you think it's funny if you give an uncomfortable goodbye. We all know the bit.
I don't want to be uncomfortable.
No, we know the bit.
Look, the
you
hair's
never
back.
talk that way any other time. But if someone's like, bye, Gail, you do that thing and we yell at you and then you laugh. All right, we got a break here, right?
We have to break.
Why is that?
Because Mr. Nick DiPaolo's coming up.
Sirius XM's own Nick DiPaolo?
That's right.
Starting Monday, May 15th.
Yep.
Is that this Monday?
That's this Monday.
Ooh.
6 to 8 p.m. on Faction Talk. And then, where is he going to be performing?
He'll be performing at Treehouse Comedy at Bobby V's in Windsor Locks, Connecticut. Go to treehousecomedy.com for tickets. That'll be Saturday night at 9 p.m.
All right, let's break. We're back with our favorite funny man, Nick DiPaolo. Bennington Show. And I told you, we get all the big stars. We get all the big new hosts here on Sirius XM. Nick DiPaolo is here.
Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. Kids.
Monday,
No,
May
we won't go.
15th, 6 to 8 p.m. on Faction Talk 103. Nick DiPaolo. You calling it the Nick DiPaolo Show?
Yeah, I wanted to go with Shemp Howard, but nobody, my favorite name of all time, nobody.
You had Curly, then Shemp, then Curly Joe.
Yeah, nobody, what's with him?
No.
Ronnie, what's with him? You probably know. We're the guy that would know the history of Curly Joe.
The thing about Curly Joe is in those days they did not point out what was going on with him. He was a different kind of guy. He was sensitive. He was a poet.
He was shy.
Never took a bride. Never took a bride, our Curly Joe. But I mean, you go from Curly to Shemp, two of the funniest physical people of all
Shemp's
time.
my favorite, by the way. I mean, Curly was the genius, but I'm just saying Shemp, I was always, the hair falling in his face.
His hair was constantly in his face at a time when no one had long hair. You know what I mean? This is like World War II. And he's got this weird, long, greasy bangs in his face. But Shemp is the only one who really looked like he could throw a punch if he wanted to.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? Shemp really looks like he could unleash one. You're in the world of satellite radio now. This is a long time coming. I know you've been talking to him for a long time, right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I can't, I had a terrestrial gig for about a minute.
Yeah.
Went away, not because of me, again.
Yeah.
Free FM, that platform folded.
Yeah.
And then the Nick and Artie thing. That could have been my ticket.
Yeah.
Paradise. Cut to me playing Hot Comedy Club in Yonkers in front of 8 people going, mother effer. Well, I can say fuck, but I'm
Yes, you can. Yeah.
But
And you'll be using the studio too, right?
I just found that out.
Yeah.
To be sitting in the Ron Bennington studio? Come
That's
on.
what it's called, the Ron
And
Bennington
Opie's after
studio.
you here.
Yeah.
Those are some
No, I'm on a different channel than you guys.
Oh, that's
you
right.
guys are on the Faction, I'm on the comedy
not what I
channel.
know.
Yeah, same studio, different.
I'm not even on the comedy channel.
No.
What does that say?
You're on
30 years on the road.
You're on Faction, so it's a faction of something. I don't know what it means.
Exactly. The only time I hear the word faction, it's usually used when they're talking about terrorists and faction of.
Well, we went through a couple names with that. They were first, I think, High Voltage when I started here. It was called the High Voltage. Then after that, it was called the Virus.
Yeah, the Virus.
Then the Opie and Anthony channel. Then the Opie channel, and then finally now Faction.
Talk.
Isn't like Jason Ellis? Wasn't it based on his show called Faction or something?
Well, he's from a network that is still there, by the way.
Yeah, Faction. It's like Faction music.
And this is Faction Talk. They haven't thought about it a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think.
But a faction is like
too much.
It's like a group that pulls off like a descent.
I think you're thinking of a fraction.
Okay.
That's a piece of something.
I thought it was like a subgroup.
Vito's looking it up for him as we sit here.
Who are like...
Yeah, I know you are right that it's a
segment of a larger population.
Yes, a faction of yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's that for it?
So that's you.
Yeah, what does that mean? Exactly.
I think
I'm a subset of what, Ron?
Well, it's where we're putting the Italians now. That's what we like to do. There's a special ghetto for the Italians.
Faction.
Yes.
You're going to love it.
Facciones radio.
And then you've got your producer, Danny Flowers.
Danny Flowers. I keep calling him, I called him Andy. I mean, no, his name's Andy. I keep calling him Danny.
Yeah.
What is...
And
my wife's name is Andy with an I.
Is that right?
Girl spelling, thank Christ. But yeah, so I keep calling. It must be a Freudian thing. I don't want to call a guy my wife.
By the way, though, I do like when a girl has what is considered a guy's name.
Mm-hmm.
I've always liked that. Yeah, like when Gail was born, if she was I was thinking about calling her Ronnie. And then everyone's like, you look
That's
like...
your music thing.
No. And then goes, yeah, because of Ronnie Spector, too. That's right. And everyone in my family went, but my mother's Gail. So I had to name him after my
But people in Canada and France are like, oh, that's cool. You have a boy's name. Because it's more common as a boy's name in Canada.
Well, now it's not even common in the United States for anything.
No, it's not anything.
It's only an A away from Gil.
Yeah.
Gil.
I'm loving it up here.
By the way, This is why you're so ready to do this radio show.
Why?
You put that AI thing. Boom. You pulled that out. Things moving
I
along.
had a 480 in my verbal.
Sweet. I'm glad to hear that.
No, I actually did a 560, 580. One thing I was pretty good at math, however.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, none of us are math people.
I was the same way. Like my SATs, my verbal was like really, really high. My math was incredibly
They
low.
gave me geometry or something when I was in 10th grade, and I just wrote like where the answer is supposed to be. Impossible.
That's your theorem.
Yeah.
Science
but
is
I was
not
always very comfortable with a failure or an incomplete. You know how some people would be all cramped up about it? It didn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
And I would say to my parents, I go, I don't see me getting that caught up in all this kind of stuff.
You was, and that's a sign of somebody smart. I was an idiot who was getting nervous. Well, my dad would put my hand in a panini maker if I got a CLS. So I really can't. I said that to Martha Stewart on the Fallon show. Me and Artie were on there. She was making something up. I go, Martha, real serious. I go, my dad used to put my hand in that if I got a D. She goes, no, he did it. It's a joke, for Christ's sake.
Nothing's funny. Nothing's funny to Martha.
She's very serious.
Nothing at all. So,
stock tips.
Do you know what you're doing with your show yet? Is it guest? Is it phone driven?
Isn't that what all radio is, Ron?
Yeah.
When people ask me, I get nuts. I go, what am I, reinventing the fucking wheel?
Right.
I'm going to follow the news. Maybe give my, I lean right in my politics. That might make me stick out a little bit.
No.
I'm more of a libertarian, let's be honest.
Right. That's what Republicans say now, so they
No,
sound
I've been
smarter.
saying that since I was 11.
But the Comey thing, did that matter to you? Did that seem like a big deal?
It was weird. I haven't had time to process it because I dated him for like a year, and it was a shock. And I don't. He was put in a hard. I remember him being put in a hard place there.
Yeah.
But other people saying, well, he didn't have the right to come out and make these statements and affect the election. And Chuck Schumer wanted to wring his neck before the election.
Yeah.
Now he's blowing him.
Well, now they're saying.
So which one is it, Ronnie?
So I would agree with everything that you said is right.
Yeah.
But it does make Trump look, because they're looking into this Russia thing.
Yeah,
it
there's
looks
nothing there.
It looks like Trump wants this to go away, rather than, if there's nothing there, just fucking go through it. Who gives a
but
shit?
isn't that a little obvious? If that was his real motivation, I'm going to can this guy and it all.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's never subtle. Trump is never
Which
subtle.
is what we love about him a little bit, don't we? I like that he's mixing it up. You don't even have to like him. I would just think after years and years of us saying, DC doesn't work anymore.
Right.
Just throw somebody a wrench into it, and that's what he sort of is.
I will say this.
Right?
It's fucking unbelievable TV. I mean, I can't. I'm missing. I'm behind in my other shows because. And I actually said to my wife not too long ago, I said, I gotta take a piss. Hit pause, please. I don't want to miss anything until I get back here and find out what he's doing. But I've been trying to watch all 3 stations through yesterday.
Yes.
And nobody could figure out why he did it, when he did it.
Yeah.
And it's like a swerve. It's like a movie that has a swerve.
It is. I don't know the real motive. Gail?
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
All 3 of them were completely, like, they all took different approach. Like, Fox seemed very cautiously like, we don't know what this is yet. We don't want to say the wrong thing. Like, MSNBC, literally, they were just going, did this just happen? Like, they just looked shocked. Like, they had nothing. Yeah. It was really, really bizarre.
But the Dems are out there going, it's like the Saturday Night Massacre with Nixon, blah, blah, blah. Shut the fuck up.
They use the name Nixonian. All through the night, which I've never heard before. It's very Nixonian.
But this is a very rushed Nixonian. I mean, like, this is on hyperspeed.
Oh, you mean how early it happened in his...
Nixon took a while.
Nixon was like 5-6 years before everybody's like, what the fuck is going on?
How does Gail know that?
Well, she's a reader.
I know.
She's my reader, Chris.
He was eating a bundt cake last time I was here.
Chris...
I bought those Reese's Minis, so...
Did you really?
Yeah,
You took
those are for Nick.
I literally didn't even have one.
This was
Chris, are
Nick's.
you serious?
They're empty.
This was going to be part of the celebration. I have champagne. Did you have the champagne for him?
The Decibel wine?
Yeah.
The guy from Decibel, he sent me a bottle.
He did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he loved
Thank
how
you.
much you loved his
And
wine.
I already drank it.
Yeah.
Then I wrestled my wife.
Oh, yeah, that one was from the Mass, right? He sent an extra bottle
Yeah, I
to
think
the
so.
Mass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot about that. It's
Yes.
good wine, though, huh?
Very good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're a wine guy.
Not really. I don't like wine.
You know what? But, drink some wine, Pop. It's good for you, That was always my favorite thing in The Godfather. Drink some pot. Wine. It's good for you.
I'm drinking more wine now. Yeah.
That's actually pretty good.
The funny papers.
Yeah. The funny papers.
Do the eyebrow.
That was the thing. Oh, he was so happy that he likes to read the funny papers.
He's smarter than me, Pop. He reads the funny papers.
But then when he sat...
Picture Vito Corleone doing a word scramble. I want a cheese. I need a fucking... Clemenza. I need a...
Save this for your show, dude. Save it.
Oh, please. It's never ending.
That is true. His creativity is through the roof.
It's wealth.
Now, again, you're going to listen to Nick on the radio. You're going to love it. You're going to be very excited to call in and be on his side or against him. It's all going to be fun. But seeing him at the stand, I saw him at the stand twice now, and seeing the way he treats the audience face to face is the funniest thing in the world to me.
Yeah.
The funniest thing in the world.
And last 2 times I've been there, maybe, and I didn't know, your dad comes on right after me, and I'm like going, oh, here we go.
Because
this really magnifies my asshole issue.
I can't not comment.
Right.
Like, how you're supposed to jump in and jump into your stuff? I go, would you believe what he was just saying? And I'll go through it. And it's like a ball.
Dude, I saw you crush at the stand once and just destroyed the audience.
And I was doing well.
The entire time. You were doing very well.
That's what that is? That's a sign to get off and not do it anymore. Seriously.
You were doing well, but you were so mad at them. But I'm like, but they love you.
Quinn goes to me, and this was like 12 years ago. Don't be the guy that can't hear the laughs. That was about 20 years ago. Yeah. And I'm enjoying myself.
You are having fun on stage.
People wouldn't believe that. I'm having fun, but
But here's the thing.
Love their wives, they abuse them.
He jumps up. It's like, so I'm with Nick and like Adela's there. And he's like, oh, thanks for having me in. This is really fun. Thank you so much. He jumps up. He immediately complains about the lights, the sounds, the side of the room, and what he's being paid.
All legitimate concerns, by the way. Don't have to point them out everywhere. The lights, I say that everywhere because it puts the audience in a mood. It's like I send up a balloon.
Yeah.
It's sarcastic. You know what I mean? I say that almost everywhere about the lights.
Yeah.
And,
I also saw you at the Fat Black Pussycat just destroy that beautiful back room.
Yeah.
You know that? What is that? Like the back room that they use there? And
you mean the
like,
bar?
Well, that thing started out.
The thrones, like that room.
Oh, where they're sitting.
Yeah.
In those chairs.
It's bizarre, but when Colin, I think, was the first one to do it, and everyone's like, "What is he doing up there?" And now the room is fucking booked every night. Somebody's doing an hour there every night.
I did last week. I did.
Did you?
Yeah. And got real money.
Yeah.
We Noam and the people that run the Comedy Cellar appreciate what during the tough crowd days what we did for the cellar.
Sure.
It started to get packed every night, and they there's 5 of us on a list. We don't have to pay for food or drink ever at the cellar.
Ever again. Everybody did the tough crowd.
And they appreciate it. I love Noam, and I loved his dad. When his dad died, I cried like a baby, man. Those guys. I don't go down to the cellar anymore. I do it out of respect to them. Because, like you said, I go to the stand to yell at people.
Right.
The audience. I don't want to do it at the cellar.
Right. You're at the cellar. People there are so excited, thinking fucking Chris Rock is going to come in a second. And then you're just bitching your ass off.
Ladies go back to Idaho. They go, we went to the club where Louie is filming. Some guy called me a cunt. Kind of look like Joey Buttafuoco. That ruined the night.
It couldn't be any fucking funnier, dude. It couldn't be any funnier, I'm telling you.
Nick DiPaolo's in studio. The Nick DiPaolo Show premieres Monday, May 15th at 6 p.m. on Faction Talk 103. Nick will be performing this Saturday, May 13th at 9 p.m. at Treehouse Comedy at Bobby V's in Windsor Locks, Connecticut. Go to treehousecomedy.com for tickets, and for all of Nick's dates, go to nickdip.com.
Yes. Every time I come out, I was saying to Norton today, every time I come in to do radio and plug, it's always the 3 dates of the year that I, don't want anybody to know that I'm there. I'm going to be at Kevin's Laugh Hut in Beverly, Massachusetts, in the money-making shithole in Brockton. And it's never, the Ridgefield Play High. I do enough. I do a handful of theaters, but it's never on the...
Never when you're in... Yeah. So you and Norton go back how long?
God... that's a good question. I came down here in, 90 from Boston. I don't remember meeting Jimmy till it had to be shortly after that.
Yeah.
Early 90s sometime.
Because Norton was kind of in with the Florentine crowd, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
So it was always interesting to me that, yes, everyone's together, but then there's like packs or factions inside.
There you go. And that's why he's the best.
Inside of that. But it always makes me laugh of who knew who when. You know
like
what I mean?
A free radical. I don't even know what that means. I don't really fit in this business. Let's be honest.
Yes, that's
true.
true.
A lot of nerdy people who had emotional problems and get beat up in high school. And, nerdy Jews.
There are some people that are actually mad that you had an athletic career, a social life before you went into it.
Yeah.
Because some people felt like all I could ever do was comedy. You know?
Me and this kid, there's a guy, Kevin Flynn. He actually did soccer here on Boston comic. But yeah, he was like an all-American soccer player at UMass.
Right.
He started comedy the same time I did. I graduated Maine in 84. I played football up there, and then I did my first open mic in like 86 or 87.
Yeah.
And I still have my football, I got a suit jacket on 3 times too small. I get traps coming out on my neck.
Yeah.
And they hated me and Kevin immediately.
Right.
Kevin's like a real handsome guy, all-American.
Yeah.
And they just, and then somebody explained it to us, or explained it to Kevin like, yeah, that was your thing. This is our thing.
Right.
Oh, is that how the world works in your fucking little faggy world? I can't fucking even know I'm funny. I'm not gonna fucking bother you. I'm like, kick your head off your shoulders right here and show up.
But it's not like football teams don't have a place for kickers and holders.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. You gotta put up with that guy. He doesn't fit in either. But look at him, we could end up getting a win.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Half the kickers are, half the kickers I think they're gay, and some of them take modern dance.
Modern dance.
So they didn't, that was the thing, but I remember Dana Gould, who I love, by the way. One of the most brilliant comedy minds. Real lib. But, I'm at Nick's Comedy Stop. I've only been in the business a couple of years, and, I'm on before him, and I'm raw, I'm kind of dirty and murdering, and then he goes up, with his esoteric, funny. And they weren't digging the first few minutes, and then he starts kind of like bad-mouthing me, so I waited for him.
You waited for him.
I'm only in the business 2 years. I pinned him against the wall in the stairwell. Holy shit. I'm like, I've been doing this 2 years, but I know you don't fucking bad-mouth the comic that was on before you. I didn't do it. I go, bullshit, I heard you. And now I fucking, and I love Dan. I met him since, and so goddamn funny. And he was right, looking back on it. I'm just saying.
But that is the thing, that you bring that thing with you to the stage, for better or worse. But then you spend the rest of your time, after you get professional, you spend the rest of your time trying to get back to that rawness. Because there was truthfulness in this. Right. Whether it was good or bad or whatever, you came in with something that was you. It was your street vibe. What amazes me is people go into stand up now because they've studied YouTube videos and they try to work out the math. But none of their friends ever thought that they were funny.
And that's the first.
Yeah.
Even Jay, I saw Jay being interviewed somewhere on the internet, but said he goes, it's always the guys around the table that would make you laugh. Those are the funny guys,
Right, it's exactly true.
Right.
But you would look at Colin Quinn, and you could see Colin Quinn at 14. You know what I mean? You could look at him and go, man, this kid won't shut up. He's funny, but I had to give him a smack. I'm sure.
He's wearing the same clothes.
Yes, everything was the same. But you could tell who were the people, and it's almost, and I felt that way about Patrice too. It's almost like you don't want to see him get too good. You want to see that funny thing. And there's no other time where you're like, well, don't work at it.
Well, like James Dean, I remember there's a story about somebody trying to get him into acting classes, and somebody said, no, don't do it. Somebody told him, don't do it, Brando, it'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
It'll ruin what your gift is or whatever.
Right. And that's what happens when you start to get professional sometimes, I think.
Yeah.
You start to, for better or worse, sound like who's ever popular at the time. Like years ago, everybody would sound like Jerry. You're just trying to write a Jerry Seinfeld joke in your head instead of being that guy in the fucking lunchroom that had the other kids laughing.
See that?
Yeah.
About 7 people understand that. Seriously. Robin Harris was one.
One of my favorite of all time.
Def Comedy Jam. I used to love it because the guys were so raw and funny. And he did a thing, I hope it was Robin, about running through the finish line and he looked kind of gay or something. but he had a wife beater on.
Yeah.
This is on national TV. He's wearing like a wife beater. And just obviously right out of the hood and not a pretentious bone in his body.
No.
And I'm wiping my eyes and sure enough, man, he could have been something.
If
right?
he hadn't died, he would have been Bernie Mac was the same way of just a regular guy. But Robin Harris saw this woman walking by and she had on this like silver jacket and he said, "Bitch looks like a baked potato." And that's all you need. That's a perfect fucking joke. You could sit, look, I'm going to show this picture, write it for 2 weeks. There's 10 of you together. But bitch looks like a baked potato is the rawest, funniest thing that you could say. That's the best.
I'd go.
Nick is here. I want people to go and check out his show, and you're not even plugging.
Nick, I apologize. Nick DiPaolo's in the studio. The Nick DiPaolo Show premieres Monday, May 15th at 6 p.m. East on Faction Talk, Channel 103. And Nick's performing this Saturday, May 13th at 9 p.m. at Treehouse Comedy at Bobby V's in Windsor Locks, Connecticut.
Bobby V's.
I'll be doing Dallas Greens and then Lead the Road at the club.
Go to treehousecomedy.com for tickets and go to nickdip.com for all of Nick's dates.
I would have saw that lady.
Just died.
What's that?
Dallas Green just died, I think.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I laid on the floor that day. I couldn't even get up.
Oh, that's right. You're big Phillies.
What can I do?
Yeah.
He
was a healthy looking guy. Guy had a hair.
He gave me my life. What am I supposed to do now? Go on? No. I stepped on you. What you got, Nick?
I was going to say, if I saw that lady with a silver jacket on, it looks like your coat's made of saran wrap. It's like some type of metal.
It would have been just as good. It's good. Would have been just as good, but in a different way.
Bitch look like an antenna on a poor guy's car. Yeah, Robin Harrison. But you're right. That is it, man. It's that what made you friend. But here's the other thing about that. It's a two-edged sword because everybody in the audience has made their friends laugh, so they think they can.
Yeah, but look who they fucking hung out with. You know what I mean? I hung out with guys that could beat the shit out of you. Try fucking making Terry Smith laugh. Believe me, it's not easy. If I found out Tamari was mad at me, I'd climb a fucking tree. I'd live up there. Spin you around.
This is one of the funniest guys I've ever met, again, with a jock thing. And most jocks don't have a good sense of humor. But this kid, he was a captain up at Maine. He was a captain, a linebacker, Dean Ramsdell. He's from a small town in Maine. He had strawberry eyebrows and eyelashes, freckles, just a scary-looking dude, about 6'3", 240.
Right.
Just cocky. You would have thought he grew up on the streets of Philly.
Right.
Just comes into class. It's like 11 degrees out. He's got shorts on and flip-flops. Walks into class. This is one of those big classes, like 150 people. And I can't even remember, but somebody yelled, "Hey, he had shorts and flip-flops." Somebody goes, "What did you ride your surfboard?" He goes, he's got mirror sunglasses. "No, I rode your mother." Even the professor started laughing, but he's got the chest out.
Yeah.
And nobody, and what a tough nut, but a jock, but he was so.
But that physical guy that you did, if you read the book, that's what R.P. McMurphy is supposed to look like in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Supposed to look like who?
Just a big Irish guy with barrel-fisted. Yeah. Right. So when Nicholson got the role, everybody was like, people that love the book, they're like, I don't know. Now you kind of forget that. You just see Jack. But you go back and read that book, because there was a guy that lived in my neighborhood. He was someone's fucking cousin. They called him Filthy McNasty, named after an old comic strip, right? So he was supposed, there was some fucking big party that was supposed to be put together, and because they had rented the firehouse and we were going to have fucking kegs there. And the whole thing was no one smokes weed. No one smokes weed. Oh, Filthy McNasty is going to be the bouncer. It'll fucking grab you by the throat and throw you out. So I fucking get there. There's already nobody there. And the guy, Feely, is his cousin. He's going like this. "Hey, make sure you don't smoke any weed. Filthy McNasty's here, and he's going to make sure he'll fuck somebody up if they're doing it." I turn around. Filthy's doing a power hitter with some fucking, with the first guy who came in. And they're just sitting in the middle of the firehouse. I go, there's your cousin smoking dust. But this guy would have been perfect to play him in a fucking, He was also one of those guys, when he died, no one got to his apartment for 2 weeks later.
Oh, that's...
he didn't have anybody in his life to check up on him until, the downstairs neighbor was like, something fucking stinks.
Something smells McNasty upstairs.
Yeah, something fucking smells McNasty. But even saying that, even with him dead, I'm a little nervous. that, women will come looking for me to settle a score.
It came down to Nicholson and B. Arthur, I think, wasn't it?
The two of them
B. Arthur was perfect.
Back and forth.
6'4", 240.
DeVito was in that,
Yes.
of course. And I just watched The Comedian, which you were in with De Niro.
And I haven't seen it.
And De Niro, well, some people said, the movie did. I liked it.
Was it all right?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that, you could tell he wasn't an actual comic when he was doing his stuff. But all the offstage stuff, the stuff with you guys, I thought it was great.
Yeah, I haven't, that's how jaded you get. I mean.
I can't believe you haven't seen it.
I know, 10 seconds with De Niro, who I've been idolizing since I was 10.
Yeah.
And, I gotta write stuff for hot comedy in Yonkers. I got a big gig coming on with the 11 people.
Yeah.
Never mind them. But I noticed, I was downstairs watching sports last night and put on the list of DVR things, and my wife had on demand recorded it.
Yeah.
And I still didn't.
So it's there.
I still didn't watch it.
It's you, Jimmy, is it Esty?
Esty.
And De Niro.
That's awesome.
And Esty, can I tell you a little story about that? God bless Esty, that's why I love her. She actually had a line with De Niro. Right. And the guy goes, cut. And the director goes, Esty, I think you jumped in on Bob's line. She goes, no, I did not. I was saying this. He was supposed to say this. And the guy goes, let me see this. The director, she's right.
Yeah. It's Taylor Hackford is the fucking.
Taylor Hackford,
He's been around for
Devil's Advocate.
Yeah, forever.
Wow.
And then De Niro, but DeVito's daughter is in that too, playing DeVito's daughter. She's
really?
fucking great. Yeah, De Niro goes to a lesbian wedding, and it's De Niro's daughter, and then they invite him up. And to me, De Niro's playing Pat Cooper. In my mind, he's walking around, nothing, he's just Pat Cooper the whole time to me. And like you would know that Pat Cooper did this kind of shit with his family all the time. So I thought it was funny. I thought it was good. I don't know, why things open the way they do or not.
Right.
I saw Amy's movie. I thought it was funny, and they're being rough on that right now.
Which one?
Is it
The new
Snatch?
One. Yeah, Snatch.
It's really cute.
That name's off-putting.
Yeah,
That's
gross.
That's gross. Snatch? Did you say snatch?
Snatched.
Yeah, snatch.
Oh, snatched.
Past tense,
a verb.
You got snatched.
Well, no, like,
Like vaginated?
Yeah, vaginated. Yeah, that's the same way.
You were vaginated.
Yeah. Vito, you used to hang out down the cellar. You don't go there anymore?
No, I haven't had as much time to go, but I used to go there a lot, the stand a lot.
They started banning silly hats down there. Maybe that's
Well, his hat is based on Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones.
He wants to be Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Ah, there you go.
Another
one I haven't seen.
Yeah. Well, it's good. You're in it. You're in the Indiana
I'll watch him
Jones.
land the plane. I'm not going with shitty movies.
Are you watching anything on TV right now?
Yeah.
What are you watching?
The NHL playoffs. Like most good radio, artsy comedian guys.
They get a fucking 0-1 rating. You're like, spending 2 hours talking about it.
No, I tried to watch.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know why I did this. I do know why. I like stuff set in, 1850. I like Western.
Me too.
Because that's classic conflict. Bad guys here, good guys. I enjoy that. I'm a simple fella. So Pierce Brosnan has something called The Sun.
I saw the thing for that. I haven't seen it yet, though.
So
no?
I kind of like the trailer.
Yeah.
And I try to watch the first one. And naturally, the whole story is when he was a kid, the Comanche Indians kill his mother, rape her, kill his brother, torture him, but he survives somehow.
Yeah.
And then he grows up to be an oil tycoon. And 60 years later. But obviously now he's the old crusty white guy who hates Mexicans and Indians.
Right.
And he's got a couple of younger sons who, you gotta change your ways. This fucking dialogue that you would hear at Starbucks today. They got the fucking young daughter chastising the dad. That's why I believe it's all propaganda, Ron. These fuckers can't leave their fucking politics out of anything.
So you just want to see an old style Western.
Yes.
You don't want to learn any lessons. Good.
Oh yeah, there's a lesson we haven't learned yet. Ooh, white guys didn't like Indians and vice versa.
All right, what is your idea of perfect Western? What is a Western that you like?
Unforgiven.
Unforgiven is an unbelievable fucking movie.
Good one, right?
Better than you could fucking imagine.
It is, isn't it, Ronnie? Understated.
When he fucking beats the shit out of is it Irish Bob? Is that his name?
Yes. Yeah.
That is,
Gene Hackman.
It just goes on and on and
amazing.
on. Gail, perfect Western feel.
The Appaloosa. The Appaloosa to me is a perfect.
I don't think I even know this.
You guys have to check this out. I think I've recommended it to you
I'll watch
before.
it right now.
But it's so fucking good because it's like it mostly takes place in Mexico. And it's just Marlon Brando is like supposed to be a half Mexican dude, and he gets his horse stolen, and he's like starting to try to start a horse farm for his friends, and it's literally just like one of those movies where like the want is so small. He's like, I just want my fucking horse back.
I like that.
And so he goes, and like these guys are gangsters, and he comes. It's a fucking great movie.
Sounds good.
It's so good.
Black and white.
It is black and white, yeah.
See that? Or early color.
I'm trying to remember if it's early color or black. It's
either way. That's Brando. It's the right time. I would.
Brando, One-Eyed Jack's one of my favorite fucking westerns of all time. I think my favorite western might be The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, because you don't really find out till the end.
I saw all of them when I lived in L.A.
Yeah,
all of them. High Noon. Rented them all. Red River.
Red River.
I went through like a phase of going through.
And I can't remember that. That was I know that was a great one. I can't
so
remember.
Good. But like, that's the kind of Western I like, where you have like a dark character. There's like a little bit seedy. But then I would like try to get into some of like the classic Westerns, and I'm like, they're fucking singing and shit.
I like the bubbly,
you know, like the ladies.
Yeah, I don't like singing, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
or like it's too happy.
Yeah.
Like, isn't it quaint? I don't like that. I like a dark
Here's what
Western.
you want. You want from Shane on. Like, Shane.
Yeah, Shane is good.
Like, wait, he's the good guy, but wait, is he flirting with my wife? What the fuck is going on with the hero? That is great.
It's the tastiest Eastwood I ever.
Anything with Eastwood?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Like, for a few dollars more is fucking amazing.
Oh, there you go. Good, bad, and ugly.
What's the one is it where he's the stranger? They only
High Plains Drifter.
High Plains Drifter.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good
one.
Shit.
That and Practical Magic with Sandra Bullock. Those two, I'd put them neck and neck.
I literally love that movie, which is hilarious. I actually do love that.
Do you really? Never saw it. I saw the title and I threw up.
God, I love
and I love her.
that movie.
I would love to finger pop her.
Well, that's why I watched it.
Hey, somebody was saying, I know, Jen told me that Sandra Bullock is dating Brad Pitt. That would be like, that would be the perfect baby.
Oh my God, would it ever?
Did Pitt ever make a Western?
This doesn't seem like it makes sense. Well, yeah, he was in,
called Girls in the Sun.
The assassination of Jesse.
Jesse James.
By the coward, Robert Ford.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
So good
The assassination of Jesse.
And that was pretty recent.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a
I
couple
did
years
not
ago.
see it, but it looked pretty good.
And it's
so good.
shot like a 1960s thing. There's actually a shot in the scene where a train that they're going to rob is pulling up, and Gail and I think it might be the most beautiful thing ever shot on film.
But that's
in
what the
history of
critics
the world.
didn't like about it. It was Metro North. Fucking Eastern Quarter. Nobody spotted that. One critic said,
But, you know,
they were put in the Nyack.
But Casey Affleck is so good in it, but Brad Pitt is so good in it.
Brad
Like,
Pitt
you
is
kind of
Brad
forget.
Pitt's a great actor, man.
He is.
So good
Not
in
just
it.
a pretty face. California is one of my favorite movies ever.
Me too. He was the next Paul Newman. And by the way, there's a Paul Newman Western. I don't know the name of it. And
I do.
What is it?
HUD.
HUD is like...
Kinda. That's Texas, right?
Yeah, it's Texas, and I love HUD. But this was one where the guy who played Paladin, which my dad if you ask my dad who his favorite actor is, he would say Paladin. Because it's a guy off a fucking 1950s Western TV show. Like, the only time I ever sat and watched TV with my dad was baseball or Westerns. Or else he was like, what is this shit? And he would leave. I don't know what he did. He went and stood outside for a while. But he loved Westerns, and those kind of movies are the ones that he turned me on to. And I don't know why we got out of making them. And there's a certain person now that they don't like to see anything that happened before they were born. You know what I mean? Like a certain moviegoer. They're like, I can't relate to this. People are in horses, not cars. So they don't make Westerns anymore.
Western is like, that's like an easy get for me. Like, I'm just like, if I see, I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. That's like a go-to.
I like a Western. I like anybody, like it starts at the Civil War and it becomes a Western.
Right.
I like a guy who runs out of battle and then tries to go out west and
Did you bring
live
up
with the
Butch
Indians.
Cassidy?
And the Sundance Kid?
That's a great one.
That's actually almost too attractive of a Western.
How about The Covenant?
The Covenant?
Covenant?
Called?
I don't know it.
I don't know what it is.
Revenant.
The Revenant. Yeah.
Covenant. What the fuck? Have another drink, Nick. It was about a priest and he had a another kid. The Revenant. I liked that movie. Didn't you?
I liked it too. You hated it, right, Chris? I thought it was so good.
Chris, how do you know? You're eating a giant bundt cake. You can't see the TV. You're full. You're uncomfortable.
It tastes good. Nick DiPaolo's in studio.
Yeah, plug.
The Nick DiPaolo Show premieres Monday, May 15th at 6 p.m. East on Faction Talk 103. And Nick will be performing this Saturday, May 13th at 9 p.m. at Treehouse Comedy at Bobby V's in Windsor Locks, Connecticut. Go to treehousecomedy.com for tickets and go to nickdip.com for all of Nick's dates.
And hit me up on Twitter, will you?
At Nick
Push me
DiPaolo
over the 100,000 mark. It's been 20 years.
But, you know, Nick and Jimmy did a scene with De Niro, which, if we would have told you that when you were a kid, you're going to do a scene with De Niro one day.
I know.
You wouldn't be able to fucking sleep.
I couldn't sleep when they told me.
Yeah.
It's the way they told me, though. They're like, look, somebody gets sick. Can you get down here? No, SD called me. Would you like to do
That was her call.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know if it was her idea or somebody said, get Nick. It'd be,
So they didn't even ask you to come in, read for it. They just
at the last minute, they said, come down. And you know what? He got into my head. I like having the script in my sides like a week before and getting the shit down, you know?
You're right, sure.
But there were I get there.
No sides.
It just said, whatever, one, character two. And me and Jimmy were trying to decide who would do what. So it was like one sentence, and De Niro got into my head, but I'm like, oh my God, I'm acting with De Niro.
Yeah,
and
of course.
I fucked it up. Jimmy kept throwing me the line. De Niro was laughing.
Yeah.
But it spooked me a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, then Jimmy made the smart move of getting De Niro to do the opening to his fucking special.
I know.
You're sitting there, you're not even thinking, I could get him to shoot for 5 seconds.
I would have never, I would have never thought, hey, Bob, I want to slap my ass at the beginning of my new special. No, can you get Robert Duvall to give me a hand job? Anybody from The Godfather. Norton's always thinking outside the...
Duvall said that the best film that he's ever done is Lonesome Doves, that fucking TV show that he was part of.
Okay.
You know what? I've never seen it.
Me either. I love The Judge.
I like anything that Duvall...
Did you see that one?
Yeah, I did.
I love that movie with him and Robert Downey, two tremendous actors.
Well, I know Downey is an amazing actor that now they put in an Iron Man suit and give $90 million to, but he's so great.
I know.
But what was the thing Duvall did when he was the Southern preacher?
The Apostle.
Oh, fuck.
I never saw it yet.
It's unbelievable. Go home and watch it tonight. All right, so you're ready for Monday's show.
And the Appaloosa. Everyone see the Appaloosa.
I want to see the Appaloosa. I love Brando. I love Westerns. I didn't see either one of these.
I know I saw it on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on Netflix.
I saw the play with Nathan Lane. I really didn't do justice to the fucking Comanche savages.
He's got the Nathan Lane name that he throws right out. Nathan Lane, B. Arthur, and the Sandra Bullock movie.
Practical Magic.
Which I highly recommend.
I use that all the time at the cellar for like 2 years because movies always come up at that table, and it would work every time. I'd give it about 2 weeks so they forget. I go, I saw this movie the other night. 10 people will go, what is it? Practical Magic with Sandra Bullock. When I tell you this was filmmaking at its best. Or I go, I saw the funniest, I swear to God, I laughed for 2.5 hours. What was it? Schindler's List. Have you seen it? Really? They fall for it every time. Comics aren't that bright.
But they also have 23 hours a day to watch movies, so they need to fill their time.
I used to go to Joe List. I'd call him on a Tuesday afternoon at like 1 o'clock. What are you doing? Drinking and watching Goodfellas.
Yeah.
For the 400th time.
He he collects his movie tickets, and then...
Who does?
Joe List.
He does?
Yeah, because he told me he spent $800 or something on movies last year. I go, there's not enough good movies to come out now.
No.
He goes, no, but I like the idea of I'm going to a movie. Feels good. I know I got a couple hours taken up. I can't. The movies, they kill me now.
I can't.
Yeah.
Somebody's coughing, chewing gum.
You ready to go out of your mind?
If somebody burps in the lobby while I'm watching a movie, I'll come out and go, what are you fucking doing? I'm trying to hear the movie. I'm like hypersensitive. That's why you see me on stage. I can hear somebody rattling their ice. That's why I got to get out. They wore me down mentally.
I'm telling you,
it made me
there's nothing funnier than you doing that. I mean, it might hurt inside. I'm not doubting that. I'm not doubting that. you're putting stress on your internal organs. But it's so funny to watch.
Well, I mean, Kelly, we just did New Orleans at some Harrah's Casino down there last week. And when you're in the green room, they have a speaker that you can listen to the show, but you can't hear the audience on those. You can just hear the comic.
That's funny.
So he was crying when I get done, because all he heard me going, hey, fuckface, shut up, blow your phone. He wouldn't hear no laughter.
Yeah.
It was just like me reprimanding people. You've been there, I bet, Ron. You've been down there, New Orleans?
Well, yeah, New Orleans is New Orleans.
Yeah, I had never been, so I enjoyed the 4 streets that I dared to stay on.
Yeah. I had the name of a restaurant down there, and I'm like, I want to go to this place. And the guy goes, no, you don't. And I go, what do you mean? I'm telling the cab driver. He goes, I'm not taking you there.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, I want some shrimp etouffee and be raped at the same time.
Yeah. But isn't it funny when you're like, oh, okay, so this is your city. It's like half the village. I got you. I understand you completely
I knew that.
now.
Cute.
Yeah.
I knew that. And when every time I've seen New Orleans, I go, I have no desire to go down there. It's always Mardi Gras clips, and I go, that looks fucking horrible. I don't like jazz. It was Jazz Fest, by the way.
Right.
But I do love Creole cooking and jambalaya.
Oh, yeah, that stuff is unbelievable.
And it was as good as I heard.
Yeah.
It was as good as I heard.
Any place you go into, you're going to get really great stuff.
Yes, their reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were wrapping this up for now, so explain what happens Monday, because I'm very, very excited about this.
On Monday, the Nick the Paolo Show premieres. That's Monday, May 15th at 6 p.m. East on Faction Talk, Channel 103. And Nick will be performing this Saturday, May 13th at 9 p.m. at Treehouse Comedy at Bobby V's in Windsor Locks, Connecticut. Go to treehousecomedy.com for tickets. And for all of Nick's dates, go to nickdip.com and follow Nick on Twitter at NickDePaulo.
Also with Nick is Danny Flowers, who is a hot youngster ready to just...
How about me? I didn't even pick up on it again. I go, yeah, that's who he is.
Yeah,
that's right. It's Danny Flowers.
All right.
Thank you guys, seriously, for helping me out here.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
All right. We love you too, man. We're very excited to have you doing this. That's it for us. See you again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!